leave a note.
Yep, we're live.
Alrighty. His super drop is done. We're live?
Yep.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello to the
Hello.
people. So, we got a lot to cover tonight.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind. And I don't want to spend a ton of time talking about Summer Game Fest, but I do want to hit the highlights.
Okay, can I ask y'all, what did y'all do last week?
Last week
Didn't
we
you-
just did trailer talk. We just
Yeah.
hung out
But
and
but
watched
like
trailers.
for how long? I mean, did you watch
For
a
like
lot
an
of the
hour and a half.
entire
Game
time.
Fest stuff?
Yeah, we did watch. Well, at that time.
So I guess my question is, what exactly do you want to talk about with? We focus on Summer Game Fest right now.
I mean, we didn't actually talk about it.
We haven't talked about Resident Evil Requiem for one.
But do y'all watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I don't remember if we watched it as part of trailer talk last week.
Oh, we did.
I guess that's my question.
Oh, we did. Okay.
I made certain.
Yeah, we watched a bunch of Summer Game Fest stuff last week.
150 months? That is very kind of you, sir.
Was it curated by Chris Davis?
It
It was
was.
curated by the algorithm.
All Xbox. You watched all of the Xbox trailers.
We did. Crispy had not seen any of the Xbox event, so we got to show him the the Black Ops trailer without telling him what it was, and we got to like watch him go on that experience.
Yeah.
On his own, which was pretty glorious. Brad, does my microphone sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I say that because remember I was having some issues last week and I was talking about maybe having to record or swap out my cable. And I realized I have not done that. So hopefully it works.
Because you were like cutting out. Did they notice that with trailer talk last week, or any comments on that?
I think it happened a little bit during trailer talk last week, but I could be wrong. If anybody notices that, please let me know. I can
swap USB ports.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Just as a
not easily, not easily, because I don't know which. I'd have to like follow the. I'd have to like raise my desk and then follow the cable and see where I have it. I even have it plugged in. I don't even remember which spot it's plugged into. I will do it if it's necessary.
That would be the first thing I'd try, and then I'd swap out that cable.
Well, hopefully it's not an issue. What is up, Skie Accordion or Orca? Brad Skate for Life.
Did you call him? Did you call
Skie? She
Skie.
Skie. So she. I know Skylar, right? But she changed her name to Skie, I guess.
Wait.
I'm assuming. I could be totally wrong. Maybe that's two different people.
This is not Discord. They didn't just change their Twitch name. This is a different person.
Okay, so Skie.
Also, Sky, for fuck's sake.
Sky, what the fuck? Why would you say Sky? It's
dude. Nick,
what?
Why always do you jump for the?
I have never once heard anybody pronounce anything like that way.
Well, I just think we're gonna have to ask Skie. Also, you go she just cause pink? What the fuck?
No, I thought it was Skylar.
You're being canceled tonight.
Skylar is a woman. I thought that was Skylar, but now you're right. This is not Discord, so it's probably a totally different person.
Are you thinking Skyliner?
No.
No, Skyliner keeps the same tag.
And I'm looking at their profile now. It appears, well, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
We're canceling you. It's all right.
Consider me canceled.
Of all the people to cancel on this website first, it's Nick.
What are you talking about? Nick famously hates Japanese games, hates so many things. I mean, really,
Yeah.
jeez.
Just a
Hates ugly games.
Hates fast travel.
Yeah.
I have been fast traveling a lot in Assassin's Creed,
Oh,
but
damn.
that's mainly because I need to finish it before Death Stranding comes out, and there's no way
you've
that
got a
would ever
week, buddy.
happen. There's no way that would ever happen if I didn't fast travel, because that world is fucking massive. What's up, Tarkus?
Hmm. I'm ready to get started whenever y'all are.
I'm ready to watch some trailers. Crispy
Okay.
will be along when he's along. Let's
Not
fucking
this one.
go. It's playing, not this one.
I think he's just on the wrong one.
What's up, Nightshader? I didn't skip you. Did I skip you? I guess I did skip you. Sorry. Sorry, Nightshader.
Yeah, it's happening a little bit, but I think it's because I think it's a Discord issue.
Wait, what's happening?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What? I can hear
What's
you.
happening?
Remember when I told you this is the wrong one?
No, I don't.
Wait, what were you
Lost
saying?
Recon.
What were you saying is a Discord issue?
You were breaking up just a little, but I think it was because
No, that's not a Discord issue.
the footage was playing loud.
Oh, that could be it. Can you?
I know.
This got decent reviews, I think.
It did. Got like an 82.
Dice wielder. Oh, luck has finally turned. You can
I really
didn't
liked the
actually
first
look how
one. I
many
don't know
reviews
how
it had,
excited.
though.
I don't know how into the idea of playing another one of these I am at the moment, but it looks cool.
Another one of what?
Lost
Oh,
and Random.
this one's not like the first one, though.
Hello?
This is like
Hello?
This is a like a Hades set in this universe.
Yeah.
Is this Monster Train?
No, this is not Monster
What?
Train.
What are you looking at?
I'm playing Monster Train right now.
Oh, oh, good job, bro. We're watching trailers.
Because, you know, it's trailer talk. That's what we do here.
I didn't actually see how many reviews it's gotten.
Man, Monster Train's pretty cool.
We know, Crispy.
Well,
I don't know if you guys have heard of this game.
Nolan, I think, has been.
They just had a sequel come out called Monster Train 2.
Yeah, I know.
what a
You're playing
what
my
a
copy.
Pretty
Trey.
good.
what a brilliantly titled name.
I'm not playing your copy, am I? Oh, I guess I am, huh?
It's all right.
Oh,
Cool. No, yeah, this game got a lot of reviews. This game is liked.
It
This
is.
game is liked.
how is it doing on Steam? Is my question.
Oh, come on! I don't want to get sad all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Which that's not from the original team. The original team did the Midnight Walk, which came out
Oh, it's a
like a
different
month ago.
team
which was
altogether.
Also,
Midnight Walk? Wait.
Midnight
no.
Walk was from the developer of the original Lost in Random game.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so who
yeah,
developed the sequel?
Different developer.
Well,
That's not a
thank you,
sequel.
that's-
It's a spin-off.
Okay, a spin-off.
Roguelike spin-off.
yeah. You fucking dumb fucker.
But look at that sick trailer. But
That's all the commentary you have to offer
Yeah.
on that.
it was 20
Big trailer.
seconds long. 20 seconds long.
Date everything.
The air conditioner. Right? Isn't the air conditioner really hunky?
Oh, it's pretty. Air conditioner's pretty hot.
Fuckable.
Oh my god, all of the furniture has like personas.
You haven't heard about this
The
game?
fridge.
No, I
Nick,
haven't.
Literally
we have-
watched stuff on
We've had
this.
this conversation watching this trailer before.
Yeah, we've watched
Yeah.
not this trailer, but we've
You've
watched.
seen this, Nick. You know this.
You've jerked off to this.
You've thought about it. We've all thought about it.
I definitely jerked off to that toaster.
The fridge is crazy. Everyone thinks the rubber duck is ridiculous.
Where's the rubber duck? I want to see the rubber duck.
We already saw the rubber
This
duck.
dude wants to fuck the
damn
rubber
it.
duck. We literally watched an entire video about the rubber duck. Rubber
I
ducky.
didn't see it.
You did. You were here.
You did. It was trailer talk.
This is
I
how
must have
much.
been paying attention at the
There's
time.
the rubber ducky. Nick just tunes this shit out. He's like, "What is this? This is not a horror game. I'm not watching this."
This is
isn't Nick
definitely.
Slop.
This is not Nick Slop. That's for sure. So
But
like,
it is, you pervert.
but is it like?
If it had a horror
like-
theming, like date
If it was
horror
like-
girls.
If it was like fuck everything on Halloween,
Mm,
I think I'd be into it.
mm,
Our limits grow along with
mm.
us.
Are
I
there
love
any?
I accidentally just Freudian slipped and said fuck everything instead of date everything.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, this is 21st century. We know what
We know
dating
what
means.
what you're looking for, Nick.
We're all adults here, Nick. We know what dating means, okay?
Fuck the jack-o'-lantern.
The vow of rivals.
Yeah, it
So
means we're gonna
millennial
fuck
of
the
you.
jack-o'-lantern.
So millennial of
What? Fucking?
you. Yes.
Yeah, I guess the new generation
Gen
doesn't
Z,
do that,
like,
right? They
Gen
don't like
Z,
sex.
Yeah, they don't do that. They like
They're not sex people. They're not sex havers.
exactly.
Sounds lame.
Grant me the aspect of Anubis.
It's like, you know in Andor how like the daughter is like really conservative and wants to be like a trad cath wife.
When did it start? You couldn't even stand looking.
That's what Gen Z is like.
Okay. I finished Andor, by the way. Finally.
We're really starting to
Yeah.
get to know
You ready? You ready to fucking commit some political assassinations?
Well, it's a little too.
You ready,
typical.
you ready to strap yourself to a rocket and
Moment.
launch yourself into the heart of Tel Aviv?
Oh my god.
No? Okay.
Chris.
Maybe you didn't watch it good enough.
I mean, that's possible.
even the skull of a
So the word on the street is that this might be preparing for 1.0 here pretty quick.
Uh,
I mean, this is just the latest update.
Who said that?
yeah,
but
this
they've
is.
been they've been like, I've been seeing a lot of talk about it. Like they're just like doing some super heavy polish at this point.
I really did. I don't think it's gonna hit this
I have
year.
my eyes closed on everything Hades 2 related, and I have had that since the beginning. But I hope it launches this year. That'd be great.
I
Last
mean-
thing we need, just drop Silk Song and Hades 2 on the same day, and Slay the Spire 2. Just fuck me, I guess. I don't know.
And maybe not in December.
Fuck me up, fam.
December.
As in, like, I don't want it to all drop in December. I would very
Well,
much
I
like
mean,
this to come
1.0
out.
for this game is not going to be out like anytime soon. I don't think.
No.
I mean, it's going to be late in the year if they've just dropped an update.
Looking for Luca.
I'm thinking September.
I'm. Wow.
This guy has the
this
deepest
isn't-
voice I've ever heard.
It's not deeper than fucking what's his face.
Oh, another fucking talking heads. Why do they refuse to show this actual video game?
Because it's just a very,
Because
very
there's not
cinematic
much
game.
to
Like,
it.
There's
Yeah.
probably not much to it.
look,
I just
look,
want to see some gameplay.
That's
Well,
not
they've shown
fair
plenty of
because when you-
gameplay.
They have not shown plenty of gameplay.
Oh,
You are
the problem
wrong.
is what they've shown has been a lot of just like when they do show
Cinematics.
gameplay, it's like jumping around super like lots
Yes.
of cuts.
Yes.
I want to see like a steady stream of gameplay, but like if you go look at footage of like the Mafia 1 remake, that's a pretty good idea of probably what you're going to be getting with less guns or with less firepower. I don't know.
With fewer guns, Nick.
Fewer guns. Jesus Christ. That was a very Ron Swanson like giggle you just did to yourself.
This was our Enzo.
I thought family was supposed to mean something. How can you do that to him?
I had a relationship with Enzo.
What's going on here?
Ricardo, the
I think we're looking at voice actors.
We understand his journey in the game.
And art
Voice
directors.
But like that was like
The lowest form of actor.
It feels really rude.
Oh
That was a
man,
joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. Voice actors are fine. They're great.
damn it!
What?
what Brad?
I told Henry that Sonic Shadow, the one with Shadow in it,
Yeah.
was on sale. and
Oh,
that I would get
no.
it for him because he lost a tooth or whatever, or he let his grandmother
And
rip
now
it
it's
out.
not on sale.
You're raising a Sonic fan?
Well, I mean, they're all Sonic fans because they like the movies now. So, but
Yeah,
anyways,
that's true. Good
but it's
point.
not on sale. Do you think if I got like Sonic Forces, he would notice? That would like really sucks. I think.
Probably
I think that
not.
would suck ass.
No. I think it would come back to bite you in the ass in like 10
Seven,
years.
Yeah.
7-year-olds are bad gamers anyway. I mean, they don't know. They don't know. Fuck.
But also, like, you didn't say when you'd buy it. Just that you would
The
buy
man's
it.
got
No,
a point.
I did.
It's
tell
like
him
when
I
my
would buy it.
parents
What
were
are you
like, "We
talking
bought
about?
you that
weren't
Resident
there for
Evil
the
game."
conversation.
Did you say
I told
I
him,
will?
like-
If you lose your tooth, I will buy it for you next week.
No, he already lost his tooth. What are you talking about?
Okay.
It's-
You didn't say the time of the point of sale.
Tell
What are
him.
you talking about?
Tell
He's
him
saying-
you will get
he's
him a
saying-
new Sonic game for every tooth he brings you.
No. The
He's gonna
Tooth
go
Fairy
rip
left
out all of
a
his teeth with
Nintendo
wires.
points card under his pillow, and we were trying to figure out what games he was going to buy. And I showed him a trailer. I thought the Sonic was that he wanted. What I thought was on sale, and it's not. And now I'm like, ugh.
So are we not going to talk about Mafia, the old country?
No.
talked about it.
It
Also,
insists
like
upon
this is not
itself.
a video game. This is
It
just
insists upon itself.
yeah.
All right, then move on. If we're not going to talk about
I
it,
just
next trailer.
Well, you talk about it, Mafia Man.
I don't-
What's there to say?
I mean, I'm not saying
No, wait, there's some
a ton to
gameplay
say.
there at the very end.
The circle of life.
You
I'm
hyped
just
for
saying,
this
the
one, Nick?
Mafia one. I am. I mean, the Mafia one remake was pretty linear, but it was really good. So like, that's kind of what I'm expecting here. But it's gonna be like, you know, really well acted,
But like,
well written, intriguing
cutscenes
story
can't
with like
carry a
third
game.
person
I mean,
shooting. Wait, what?
Cutscenes can't carry a game. Otherwise, we'd be playing Mind's Eye right now.
I mean, I didn't say cutscenes are carrying the game. The gunplay in the Mafia 1 remake was fine. It was good. I enjoyed it. It's just like it's not like mechanically, it's not the deepest thing in the world, but like the gameplay did a suitable job of playing to the strengths of the story, and I don't know. I had a good time with that remake. I'm looking forward to this. There's not a ton to say about it, at least not right now. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe it's a lot deeper than we're giving it credit for.
Hi, I'm Nathan Lemaire.
But they haven't showed us that.
You.
Crank this shit up. Oh wait, no, hold on.
It's
No,
talking
look,
heads
I'm really
again.
excited.
We wanted to take
Look, I'm really excited about this. In fact, I almost bid on it, but then I kept thinking about what happened to me with Dying Light 2, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can ever trust them again.
No.
Trust them what? To have a good time?
Dude, Dying Light 2 was like one of the biggest disappointments in the past like 5 or 6 years for me. So like,
But it was fun.
I mean, it was for a while, and then it
Yeah.
ceased to be fun, and then the story completely fell apart, and then the last like 20-30% of the game felt completely unfinished.
Yeah. And it felt
It was
like
You go to the city and you get the fucking parachute and you're like doing
felt like it was
Mirror's
fucking
Edge
false
style
advertisement when it came to like a fucking
platforming challenges
districts.
and shit. What?
Look, they overpromised, under-delivered with Dying Light 2, and I'm hoping that this is they're gonna redeem themselves with this.
Well, now you
but
get to be the
I don't-
guy from Dying Light 1. Doesn't that bring it back to you?
I don't give a shit about that. I give a shit about like what the
You
actual
like the story in
fucking.
the first one.
You know what my favorite character from Dying Light is? The fucking grappling hook.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a great.
Yes.
That's a great character.
And they killed him off.
Look at this pitchfork.
The grappling hook's in the second game.
Look, I would probably Dead Island, or I keep saying Dead. I keep wanting to say Dead Island. Dying
The
Light
spiritual
1
successor to Dead Island.
Yes, but Dying Light 1 had flaws, but it felt like a complete package, and I loved it. Dying Light 2 felt like an unfinished mess with a really boring story. and I couldn't get over it. I couldn't get over it. I hope this redeems it.
But, like,
Man,
you know, the
I
first
want to
game
love
had
this
a boring
series
story.
again.
It's Crackdown with plus Mirror's Edge. It's fun.
I'm not saying it's not fun, but like some of these things can really ruin an experience for me. And like Dying Light 1's story was dumb, but it was fun. Dumb fun. Dying Light 2's was dumb and boring. And
Yeah.
so I couldn't even even when I was like struggling with like gameplay stuff, I couldn't be like, well, the story's fun. And
I
vice
don't
versa.
remember the
It was
first
just
game's story being fun, but what if
I
the
had
story
great-
in this one is fun?
that's what I want. I want it to be fun. I want it to be dumb zombie fun.
I mean, in my experience, Techland has yet to make a really good story.
Well, I'm not saying okay. Look, I'm not sitting here telling you I think Techland's gonna make like fucking like Baldur's Gate 3 or anything, but there is such thing as having a big dumb fun. It's like having fun the way you have fun when you go to like a really dumb action movie. Like Mission, it's like I go to see Mission Impossible. It's super dumb. It's over the top, but I love it. I have a blast.
But are you not? Let's not watch this one. I put another Death Stranding one in here later, and we should just watch that one.
Can we not
Just
do
gonna
the next
hover
trailer?
on the button for 10 minutes,
Can we just not do the next one?
or you could just click it and let the trailer talk play out organically for once in your life.
Any kind of help would be amazing right now. Cleveland, help. I thought we were
What the fuck?
Oh, Fortnite? Yeah. They're all in Fortnite now.
It continues to take over the world. I can't.
They're all in Fortnite! Remember when I was the only person in the world that liked Fortnite?
Can revive us.
Hey, do you remember at E3, Crispy, when you and I went and played the building mode and we both loved it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. I don't remember you being there, but that's what I was talking about.
I was there, motherfucker.
I know.
Yeah, we have a history of making questionable choices with our various awards.
There's no way we could have predicted. There is no way we could have predicted what would have happened with that game.
You're right. I certainly wouldn't have predicted.
What you got to say about
happened.
this one, Nick?
This is some Nick slop, and look, I took a chance on it.
Yum yum,
and,
slop it up.
I'm taking a chance on it. I'm trying to give Bloober. You know, they did something really amazing.
Dude,
with
this looks
Silent Hill 2
better than
remake.
slop. I mean, it's slop, but you know,
I'm
Bloober.
embracing the term that y'all have given the games that I love.
Bloober.
I did not
Obviously,
say
they're
that at
not
all.
good at making games with no combat. And the
I
one
did.
where they finally
I kind of regret it, but
they made one that finally had combat, and it was way better than their other stuff. So maybe their problem is making walking horror sims or whatever.
But like that's not even. I think that's just more of a genre preference thing because the games that they made
but here's the thing.
prior
Here's
to
the
Silent
thing.
Hill 2.
Here's the thing. If you're like game sucks, at least it's fun if you get to shoot things. If you don't get to shoot things, it's like, well, what are we even doing here?
I mean, unless
But like in the medium.
I feel like the implication there is that like their prior games did suck. And while I do think that they missed the mark with what the fuck was it called? The fucking The Medium.
But
the other stuff they did before that, I really enjoyed what they were doing.
Yeah, but they weren't like fun. I mean,
But they were-
Layers of
they were
Fear
not-
was like a pretty good spook 'em up, I suppose.
What
but-
a spook 'em up. It's not. Is that real?
But I'm saying like shooting things, you know, it's like Resident Evil has like a stupid fucking story, but it doesn't matter because like they're fun ass games to play. What I'm saying is they can have a bad story like The Medium, but at least it's fun to play Dead Space.
The
or
thing is,
whatever.
when I think about Bloober, I don't like The Medium. Is
Oh,
the
another
closest
fucking
thing I thought.
Talking Heads video.
Did
Someone
you even
make
look
a-
through half these videos, Brad?
Dude, I added them at 7:55. Okay,
Bro.
there's stuff in here, right?
Look,
Ooh, look at that combat.
when I think
Speaking
about
of
the
fun-
Bloober Team, the last thing I think about is The Medium. I think about Observer and I think about Blair Witch, and I loved those games.
But Blair Witch is not like.
Hey, I fucking loved the Blair Witch game. I put it in my top 10 that year. I fucking loved that game, and I know I'm in the minority here. I know I'm in the minority.
I don't
but
think
like,
people like hated it or anything.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't like how it disrespected the Blair Witch mythology.
Yeah, agreed.
I also took a chance on this, and I'm scared.
This one looks fun. You get to fight things. That's you see what I'm getting at, dude. The horror genre needs a fucking
needs a win, man.
It needs a reboot. It needs
a fucking win.
It needs to grow out of this PewDiePie era, like jump scare, no gameplay game. You know,
I took a chance on Silent Hill F for obvious reasons, and
we're in a post-ill world.
The Freddy years.
Look, all I'm saying is Silent Hill F looks really refreshing for a Silent Hill game, but it also looks like it might have more in common with like Silent Hill fucking Homecoming than the Silent Hill 2 remake. You know what I mean? Like it could be closer to that than the Silent Hill 2 remake, and that could be a disaster. So I have no fucking clue.
Get Shinji Mikami out on stage at the next Keighley event saying, "Make horror games great again." With a hat.
With a stupid fucking hat on.
I would just quit right then and there.
Did you see that guy's apology? Did you see that guy's apology?
Yes, I did.
Wait, what was the deal? What was
he wore a make FPSs great again hat? The Splitgate guy.
Who fucking cares?
Oh, I know, but it worked. Everyone talked about him. And during his apology, he said, "Look, I was just trying to get clicks."
Look,
and he fucking tanked
I'm sorry
his game.
that World War III is about to start.
No, he tanked his game. Did you hear what he said in his apology? It was already tanked. He was just desperate. He was trying to get the chud.
That's the exact opposite of what they should have done.
Which game was this? Are we even talking about here?
Splitgate 2.
Splitgate 2. Oh fuck.
That arena shooter with the portals.
I hope this game is good, and it looks pretty fun. But
I mean, I didn't bet on it. I think it's gonna be bad. I don't know. But I do recognize that like it is
horror
a risk.
Games,
taking a
there's
risk.
a horror game tax. There really is a horror game tax. Just like the indie tax and the ugly game tax, there's a horror game tax. Just like there is with movies, kind of, right? Although these days they're kind of finally growing out.
This is ugly boy drugs.
But this looks pretty fun. Now the thing is, the developer it's
unproven. It's very unproven.
They're not unproven. They've proven themselves
bad.
To ship questionable. They're the Resident Evil Reverse and the Resident Evil Resistance guys.
Neobar.
But those were bad multiplayer Resident Evil games. But you know what? At least like those.
As opposed to the good Resident Evil multiplayer games like Operation Raccoon City.
Okay, yeah, they're all bad.
Resident Evil Zero.
That wasn't multiplayer.
Resident Evil Zero?
It's not multiplayer, bro.
No, I know you switched.
Now, let me ask: Was there melee combat in those multiplayer Resident Evil games? Because it looks like they're making a melee game.
I don't think so. No.
This I want to be good. I want to be fun. I want to like this.
I want it to be good because it's obviously a huge departure for the series.
Make horror games fun again is my hat. And I've been wearing that hat for a while, right? Like bring the combat back. You can be scary and fun. See, like,
have you ever played a Silent Hill game with combat, aside from the Silent Hill 2 remake? Because I feel like that is
every Silent Hill game.
I know that's
credits except for Downpour.
You should do.
I was just kidding. I'm saying like there's only one Silent Hill game where the combat has been legitimately good, and that's the Silent Hill 2 remake.
How can you say that for certain since you haven't played Book of Memories?
That's true. I've not played Book of Memories. I've not played Book of Memories. You got me. I
fucking hate you. I don't give a fuck about Book of Memories.
Calling Silent Hill not fun. Yeah, that's the thing. Silent Hill has not really been quote unquote fun to the gameplay is fun.
Silent Hill 2 remake was fun. Silent Hill 2 remake.
It was the most fun of all of the Silent Hill games. You're right about that.
I'm gonna get Brad a hat that says "Lock her up," but with an asterisk on the her that says.
I don't even know what that means.
Streamer bait horror games.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this. Make Kim Levine games great again. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna shut down this
every
stream.
time I see someone type in Silent Hill 2, like, or not Silent, System Shock 2, I immediately assume that we're going like Night Dive is remaking System Shock 2. That is not what's happening here, and it makes me very sad.
For a second, I thought this was
good too.
For a second, I thought this was skin deep.
Like, it's not like System Shock 2 is so old that like this isn't like acceptable. This
I don't
still
care.
looks
I'm just saying the
nice.
remake they did for System Shock 1 was so good.
Yeah, but if
So
they did that,
good.
it would be out like in 8 years, Nick.
Yeah,
That's
it
fine.
would take them a very
Do
long
it.
time.
No,
Do
but
it, you
like people
cowards.
should play this. And the thing is, System Shock 1 was so much not modern compared to this. Like,
Yeah.
it had to be remade. This is like a perfectly playable and fun video game.
I still have
It's-
nightmares about System Shock 2. Like, this looks too close to what I played before that I don't know if I want to let myself be hurt again.
Wait, what happened before that made you so?
I played like 10 hours, 12 hours of the game, and then Jack came over and broke my computer, and I lost my save.
Exactly, and that's why they need to make a modern remaster, so you don't have to run bootleg fucking bullshit to get it working. You know what I mean? This is why we need this. This is a great video game.
I know it's a great video game, and I'll love the
And-
shit out of it. I just,
No
in my
one
heart
should
of
have to
hearts,
bend over
I just
backwards
really,
to
really
get it.
want. I just really want a full-blown remake because I think it would be a goat.
Well,
It's
but
already.
this-
I know it's already. I know it's already a goat. Okay, I'm
That's
just
the
saying
thing.
in
That's
my
the thing.
weird book.
People will play this version and be like, "Wow, this is an incredible game." Like, no one could go back to play the original System Shock. I mean, like, that game is like old as fuck.
I know.
I mean, I wish every game had an amazing remake, but that's just not.
Like
Look.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Well, look, I'm getting more and more excited about that game. That'll be my 4-player minute if y'all can
it's
help
gonna be
remind
cool.
me.
It's gonna
Minute?
be cool.
Just a minute.
It's gonna be more than cool.
4-player minutes.
4-player hour.
There's a lot of like information coming out, mostly on
I
the Japanese
prefer-
side.
4-player minuet.
It is getting more and more exciting.
Oh, because they're adding a new hard mode.
That's part of it. Yes, you
And
read
you
my
like
Discord
it.
message, but there's a lot going. There's a lot more.
He likes it
information.
hard and rough.
Okay, hang on. Is Cloud gonna be in the game? Was Cloud in the original
Yes.
version?
He was in the original. Yes.
Okay.
And Aerith as well.
Oh, Aerith games. Dude, Aerith is fucking destroying White Life
This
game
is
decks
just someone
in
playing
Magic
System
the
Shock. You
Gathering
could
right
skip to
now.
the next one. I just want to talk a little bit about this.
I played against a White Life game deck that was based around Aerith the other night, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. These Final Fantasy cards are too powerful. They're
That's why we
fucking
need
up
to
my game.
Impale that hoe.
They're fucking up my game. There is a black removal card that is Sephiroth stabbing air, like coming down to do the stab.
Look
I don't know
how
what it does.
awesome.
I
this
think
game is.
it exiles
System
card,
Shock 2, Mog's Bioshock. It's true.
Also, the word
Bioshock's
system is cooler than the word bio.
That's fucking true too.
Well, considering I
It's
haven't,
true. It's also just a weird thing to point out, but true.
I mean, I'm not here to evaluate the truth. Just
We can skip to the
present
next
it.
thing.
is this a free update or is this like a standalone thing I have to buy?
What do
I
you
think it's a
mean?
standalone thing. I think
No,
it's a
like-
new version of the game you have to pay for.
Okay.
Y'all sound like the people in the comments for Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evilist Chronicles. This should just be free. How dare they charge us money
How
for
dare
this?
they?
I mean, it's happened before, is why I'm asking.
No, I mean, I feel that way about every corporation every time they ask for money. It's like, how dare you?
How far down do you have me turned, Chris Davis?
What do you mean
I
I
know
have
you can hear me, but I must be very low. I've told you 3 times this is just someone
I
playing
know.
System Shock, we
I
could skip this
fucking
stuff.
know. And then people talk, and then we continue talking about what we're looking at.
How dare you?
Next.
Kim Levine is lying. You think Judas is going to be good?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't think there
You
is
can't
such
just
a
say
thing
yeah.
as a
You
good
can't
video
casually
game.
say yeah. It's either going to be like okay, what?
I think it's gonna be more. I think it's gonna be way more like Bioshock than System Shock, though. if I had to guess.
It's gonna be way more like Bioshock. It's gonna be like neither of them, right?
No, it's gonna
I
be
think
radically different.
I think it's gonna be. Wait, you think it's gonna be radically different? I can't help but think my deepest hope is that it's more like Prey.
It's from a presentational perspective, it will look a lot like Bioshock. But
Prey is
for
more
like what they're
System
trying to do
Shock
with the
than
systems and the
Bioshock,
writing, like it's incomparable.
Well, that's yet to be seen. We'll see what happens.
Latest news is that they're releasing this on Steam.
Yep.
Still not a real video.
I told
game.
chat to ask the hell out of you as soon as this got
Still
announced.
gotcha trash.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
but
I
you can,
completely
it's a
forgot
gacha
this is a
trash you
gacha
can play in English on your Steam Deck.
God. I was sitting here looking at this and I was about to be like, "Damn, Brad, this actually looks hot as shit." And then I forgot, and then you reminded me it's a gacha game. And
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you know what looks like also like hot as shit? Most of the gacha games that are coming out these days, where it's just like big titty ladies doing cool combat.
Sick. They're fucking sick.
Zenless Zone Zero. Have you seen a trailer for that?
Dude,
It
Zenless
looks-
Zone Zero is kind of sick. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's the apex of gaming, but it is kind of
pretty
cool.
sick.
Oh yeah, how long did it take you to reach credits in that game? Shut up.
No,
Chris.
I
You
don't. I never
Yeah.
did.
This
Are
doesn't.
y'all ready to record here soon, guys? It's
Oh, they had Vicky. What? Really? Come in, chill
it's
out.
8:45.
Chill.
Where we gotta be? You could
Yeah,
skip
who are
this.
we
whatever.
trying to impress?
Well, what else do we have? How much more do we have?
Nick, who are we kidding?
Yeah, what do y'all think about this one? Oh my god!
Oh,
What
it's
the
cute.
fuck? Wait, skip, wait, there's gotta be some gameplay in here. There's gotta be some gameplay in here. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all
It
think
looks
this one's gonna
cute.
be cool?
Yeah.
It's so weird that Konami is like publishing indie games, but like that Deliver Us at All Costs game bombed horribly. So I don't know how much longer they're gonna be doing.
I'm gonna be talking about that tonight.
Wait, was that the
You
delivery
talked about it
game
before.
With, like, the...
Yeah, but I finished the game now.
Yeah, but like
And
10
now
people
you
played
hate
it
it?
is what I'm saying.
Well, then I get to inform the rest of the population about it.
The rest of the population.
You're like, don't buy it.
How much reach do you think we have, Chris Davis?
Well, at least 3,000 people, according to
the femoids.
It's not the rest of the population. I don't know how to tell you this.
I mean,
Whatever
I'll
is
just put
he
the
even
information
recommending
out
it?
there.
That's the thing. You know, maybe he's telling people to avoid.
I'm gonna talk about it.
We do have like
18
I
things
need
to talk
everybody.
about.
I need everybody to put on their
All right,
big
skip
boy
this
pants
shit.
tonight and understand that everything needs to be fairly brief because we have so much.
Oh, we gotta
to
watch
catch
this
up
one.
on.
Dude, I recorded 35 minutes of Dune footage.
Did
I
y'all
can't-
hear about this one? PC Gamer called this Gooner Game of the Year, and people went berserk. Like, how dare you? How dare you?
Fucking Stellar Blade?
Yeah. They called it Gooner. They said half the mods on Mod Dexus
That's
are
the real fucking...
adult only.
Oh, they are.
mods for
That's
Gooner
some real
Game of the
Gen...
Year.
That's some
There's
real
some
Gen Z
terrible
behavior,
shit
though.
in there.
Dude, but I'm saying like whatever. Like they weren't like lying, right? Like
Yeah.
it is all like, you know, titty mods and stuff. But
The people
what I'm
who are
saying
fans
is like
of this game are fucking like despicable for not just embracing that.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Like they're like, how
Right.
dare you call this a Gooner game? This is
Yeah.
art. And I'm like, just come on, dude.
It's titty art. Oh my god!
It
How
might be a
hard
fun
is this?
video game, but like, don't lose it because someone called it Gooner Game of the Year.
Yeah.
That's actually funny to say that. That's,
Yeah, I saw that King Carry, and I was like, what the hell?
Can I go on record here and say that I adore this game, but it is absolutely
Gooner Game
Gooner
of the Year.
material.
That's the problem. Most Gooner
Yeah,
games
so
are
is
terrible.
Nier.
So like when a
So is
Gooner
Nier.
game is
So is
actually
Nier.
really good, you should embrace it.
Dude,
Yes,
Nier-
Nier also.
Nier is a Gooner game, and Nier made me cry. Like,
Yes.
Nier is art. I don't care how goonery it is.
Exactly.
I feel like it's silly to like I don't know. I'm not like fully up and up on like the full meaning of
Just-
Gooner, I guess, but
just
like it's
accept
like
the
Gooner is
truth.
not necessarily a negative thing. It's just like
No, but that's what I'm saying. That like to Gen Z, it is negative. Like,
Yeah.
like if you
are
like,
these the same people who think
sexuality
women should be
is
chased out of the
bad.
industry though?
Huh?
Probably.
Are these the same
But this
people
is
who
the
think
one I
women
wanted
should
to
be
see.
chased out of the
I think
industry?
this
though?
one is actually
No,
about
dude,
gameplay.
dude, you don't understand. Gen Z is like misogynist but woke about it. Like, it's weird.
What? I feel like I'm malfunctioning. What?
Wait, I think this is the first Death Stranding 2 trailer that actually is about the video game. Finally, I want to watch this one, and then we can
Oh,
start.
dude,
We did
Kojima
watch
said
this last week,
Didn't
but yeah.
Kojima say he was?
You watched
worried
this
he
last
made
week?
It...
Yeah.
This one.
No, we didn't.
Yes, pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we did.
What is?
I've never seen this.
Okay,
I
watched
recognize
it.
these scenes.
Okay, now let me talk now. I have not
everybody shut the
played
fuck
more
up.
than 2 hours of Death Stranding 1.
2 hours?
You
Oh, God, I thought you were
playing.
I stopped playing, of course, yes.
Oh my god.
My question is,
Opinion invalidated. I don't want to have this
well,
discussion.
I'm not giving an opinion here. I'm not giving an opinion here. My question is, can I still play this video game without playing the first one?
No.
You
Like,
can
I
do
can
whatever
just-
the fuck you want,
Brad,
but
This is-
probably.
Pause. That shit right there, or like rewind 5 seconds. So
That?
this shit right here is why I stopped playing the first game. I didn't
Really?
understand what's going on. It was just nonstop UI in my face, and then I was walking around and things kept grabbing me, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm
You're supposed to be using your fucking.
to try to get away from these things. Do I try to
Yeah.
run away from these things? Do I
Yes.
walk with my
No.
breath being held? And I
No.
got so annoyed,
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
god. Oh yeah, we can't talk about this game.
the game doesn't tell you what to do.
It does. I'm so angry right now.
You're
No, but,
too
like, I still
early
don't know what to do.
in the
Answer my
game
question.
for you to be able to defend yourself. So you
yeah,
do have
get,
to hide.
You get like weapons later
You have
on.
to
that
hide.
kill those.
You hide.
No,
Explain.
you have
hiding
to like
me.
sneak by them.
Sneak
you have
by
to do the like where you hold your breath if you get too close. You have to use your thing to like keep a bead on them so you can see where they are.
Okay.
And when
So-
he starts
so-
like reacting to their presence, you need to move away from them.
yes.
How like
You need to not get in.
You don't
this
just be
situation.
still
This
and hold
situation
your
is
breath?
bad.
you don't just
No,
don't-
they're
no.
mostly stationary. You have to move around them.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
have to. Like,
if
work
they
your
start
way around
coming-
them.
And the
towards
eye
you,
is
like-
always going to be facing the closest one to you.
okay. What
There-
do I do when these things start grabbing me?
There's
Do I
also
run?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
you
you
run,
just run,
you
run,
button
run,
No,
run,
mash.
like I am now out of the pool of goo. Now what do I do?
run,
Run.
run, run.
Run,
Run,
Just
bitch,
keep going.
run.
Okay. No, it's just
You
here's
can
my
see on
question.
your map too
like
where
if I watch like the story so far or whatever, you think
Oh,
I could
sure.
just play this game and have a good time?
you
with
should
the
know
gameplay
what the
since it's
story
more,
is
like-
before. You should know the story. Like whether or not you play
Okay,
the game,
yeah,
you
I
should know
will.
what happens in the story.
So like Kojima said that he accidentally made this one too much fun. And he
good?
fucked
Yeah,
up.
it's
Yeah,
too
or
good.
something, which is a good sign because maybe it'll be like the best one. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna watch a video and then start this one. I mean, you're still gonna be like tripping and falling over, right? That's what we're here
Yeah.
for. This is just baby steps with a budget.
Well,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
not-
but I will say this: you if you don't play the first game, even if you watch like a summary of what happened in the first game, I mean, everybody's confused.
No. Listen.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't listen to Nick. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
just
Do you
don't listen-
enjoy?
Don't listen to anybody about this game except for me, Brad. All right?
No.
I'm the only
Do you-
person. I'm gatekeeping.
5% of your time going from
I'm
one
closing
place
the
to
fucking game.
another delivering packages.
Chris Davis, shut the fuck up.
I'm listening to Crispy.
Listen, Brad.
Yes.
Watch a video, do whatever. It is Kojima bullshit, but like the bullshit distilled down into like a 30-minute video isn't gonna hit the same because so much of the game is like vibes based, I guess.
Yeah.
And also like so much of the reason why I played like 80 hours of it was just because like the infrastructure building was addictive. So like I don't know if you watch a video if you're gonna be like, oh, I get it, and now like I'm ready for 2 as far as like being excited, but you'll know
No.
what the story is going into 2.
I don't care. Here's the thing. I'm never going to understand the story, and I'm never probably ever going to care
It's
about
not-
it. Now
It's not
listen.
that big a deal.
But see, I wanna play Death Stranding and have fun with Death Stranding, and I don't think I need to play the first one to have fun playing Death Stranding, right? Because I could just play this one.
Yeah,
It's
I
probably
don't
just the first
think
game with more
so.
gadgets and stuff, right?
Yeah. You
Well, I
might
feel like
not
that
have
RPG
quite
system
the
they were just
appreciation.
showing is that new?
Yeah, I might
feel
not
like it is.
appreciate it as much as y'all in terms of like,
This stuff
the
is
story, but like
exactly the same as
y'all
Death
might-
Stranding.
Yeah, but you also understand y'all might not appreciate the gameplay as much as I would, having this being my first Death Stranding experience, right? You know?
Yeah,
like
no,
when I fall into a river,
think
you're
you'll
gonna
be
be
fine.
like, "Oh, I can't believe this dude fell into a river. Doesn't he know all the tricks from the first one?" Like you might not have that experience anymore, but I could still have it just with this game.
Well, Brad, we would be saying, "Oh my God, this guy stepped in a river. What a fucking dumbass."
I know exactly.
Like,
But what I'm
Okay.
saying is I can have y'all's Death Stranding 1 experience with this one.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
let me ask you this, Brad.
This looks pretty good.
The combat itself in Death Stranding 1 was designed specifically to discourage you from combat.
Yeah, I know.
The game
I've
wants
heard
you to
that
play
people talk about it.
pacifist because if you kill anyone, eventually they will cause a void out, which is this gigantic
but-
explosion.
Yeah, I know
that
all
ruins
about it.
so
Okay? Y'all
long.
talked about it for
It takes
many
so long for
hours.
void outs to actually happen. Like it's
Yeah,
okay.
I
I'm not-
know about the
we're not
first
having
game. I
that
just haven't
conversation.
played
I'm just
the first
saying.
game.
I'm just saying. Like yes, you can do what you want to do, Brad. You can do that.
Can I
plan.
say this
It'll be
video
fine.
game looks so much better than the first video game?
It
But I
does,
think-
but I
you're
don't
saying
think
that
you're
because
saying
you
that because I don't think you're saying that because this looks amazing. I think you're saying that because you just don't like the first game.
Wait. I have not played enough of the first game to decide I don't like it.
Exactly.
What I'm
You're
saying-
fucking crazy, Brad. You're killing me, Brad.
But like,
I mean,
the vibes and everything, I can still have, right? Ooh, we should watch this. This is a big deal. This is the director cut a launch trailer himself, so the people really know the
of
truth.
the Open Critic 35 game.
Yes, dude, this is so good. This is so hype. I feel bad for IO Interactive because they clearly got scammed up at the top when they decided they were going to publish this game, and they're independent now, and they probably don't need a lot of L's on this level. So hopefully
I will say this.
Hitman is all right.
Every single time that I saw any mention of this game prior to its release, I assumed it was like 2 or 3 years out. Like I thought it was just announced and it's like they're just getting into it and like this is what we're working on. And to know that it is already out and terrible blows my mind.
Yeah, what is this?
Oh, it's not terrible. It's like this is like a day before situation. This is like a scam.
Like
Well,
they
it's-
built a
like they're
campaign
using,
for
like,
a game,
UE
and they
assets.
built a open world city to set it in. But anything beyond the campaign itself, there's nothing to fucking do, and it's designed specifically for the community to create the content for them.
What?
Like it's also completely fucking broken. Like I've seen video of people driving around and like stuff will like pop in. You know how like trees and bushes popped in a game, right? This has like physical assets popping in the middle of the road as they're driving. Like a car will pop in and they'll just wreck. It's insane. It's like a scam.
I get that everyone's talking about this game now because it's a huge failure, but like,
Yeah.
I've never heard of this before.
Crypto, bro.
2 days ago.
This is from
Do you guys know about this game?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Benz. Leslie
this
Benzies.
is-
This is his studio. He started when he left Rockstar after he sued them or something.
Wow, that's bad.
Yeah.
So
And
what
they
does
even
this
made a
mean?
video about QA, like how they test their games and like and how it's gonna be bug free. And this is a complete disaster.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last one.
Oh my god. You keep saying that.
Dude,
We
holy
can
shit.
stop. There's something wrong with. He can't load YouTube anyways.
Brad, a couple of runs
Oh, yeah.
ago, I unlocked all the
Oh
second
my
half.
god, this
of
is
all the
another
patches.
talking head video.
No, it's not. It's not.
No, it's no head.
No head, just a talking
head.
just a disembodied voice.
Delita, that's Delita.
You know what's so sick, Crispy,
Delita, my
Crispy.
boy.
Crispy, you know how in Final Fantasy Tactics when they do like a spell or like a sick ability, there's like
Yeah.
a fucking quote.
Yeah,
They've even voiced those in this game.
seriously. So
Dude,
we can get
those
like.
are so sick.
I mean, that's sick, but like, do you think it's gonna get like old?
No, dude, well,
I think
the
that
thing is,
ain't
they don't
the
pop
point.
up every time you do the ability. It's
Oh,
like
right.
it's like randomly, right? So you're not constantly.
Right.
hearing
Sometimes
it.
it's like, yeah.
But
Dude, Final Fantasy Tactics is so sick. The Final Fantasy Tactics raid in 14 is so sick. Oh, I hate
All
it.
right,
Why?
Jager,
Why
all
does? Why? No, you know what? I think Matsuno had it right. I think he understands that like he fucking killed it, and like he's got 3 kind of legendary, incredible, like amazing games out there that are like his games, you know, not like games he worked on, but like his mark,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, more than 3, but yeah.
More than 3, but you know, but the 3 we always talk about at least, right?
Yeah.
But like, and then just like what, like now he just plays Final Fantasy 14 all day. Like
That
he
is
doesn't-
literally, look at the shit I just posted in our Discord. Well, I don't know where we are, but he's been very candid about his involvement in this project and how, you know, he pitching
Not
ideas and they're
involved?
getting shot down. No, he is involved. He's not the
Oh.
director though. And like he is like you know, he has
Consultant?
not just a consultant, you know, he has like say over like the story and the writing and stuff, of course,
Mhm.
but like
Oh, he's like
he's
producer, but not like the like boss.
yes, exactly. And he's been very candid about how like I would have done it this way, but the director shot it down, so we're not going to do it that way. And how like it's pretty like you very rarely see like a Japanese game developer publicly talk about stuff like this.
Yeah.
But like because if people have been on Twitter and asking him, and he speaks English and he just responds to people, but he said, you know, the recent thing we found out is none of the War of the Lions content is in, which is more than just like
Right.
2 job classes. There was a lot
Right.
of other
It's like
stuff.
cutscenes and shit and like
Yeah,
story
there's-
like expanded story elements.
Exactly. And he's even giving examples of like stuff that he added that he thought was really good, like when like why he went to like the church and like succumbed to like but like he added stuff like that in War of the Lions, and he was saying like straight up, like if it was me, yeah, maybe there was some stuff from War of the Lions that I wouldn't have put in, but there's definitely some stuff that I would have. But the director shot it down, so
Wait,
I guess that's
didn't they-
that. I respect his decisions. He just
That's
wants to. Yeah, it's
But
frustrating.
didn't they say that
I'm recording.
there's like expanded story shit in this?
There is. So
But it's
like,
not War of the Lions content.
no.
So like
It's different. It's new.
so like they made new expansions to the story. So now there's going to be like 2 different versions
like
or
more
3
character
different
development.
versions.
And
This
I know
would be
and-
really
and-
good
and-
content
and
for the show.
what they suggested is that I'm recording.
I'm
ready to
fucking
start.
recording.
Everybody, okay, let's just start recording if you haven't
Why is
already.
this podcast always getting in the way of me having a nice chat?
Yeah.
That's a good question because that does kind of defeat the purpose of podcasting, doesn't it?
Literally have Discord if you want to have a conversation.
All right.
Brad. Who should I
7 days
level
a
up?
week.
The Hellhorn, the Awoken, the Stygian Guard, or the Umbra?
Umbra.
I just got them. I've never used them.
Dude, Umbra's cool. Umbra's cool if you've never used them.
Dude,
You'll
you know who's
like it.
cool?
Alright.
The fucking Under Legion. Sorry.
Can we
Go ahead.
Can I do the roll call?
I'm recording.
I'm going. Let's
know.
go. Let's do it.
All right. Roll call starts right now. Brad.
So how you know how when you get Agrius and she joins your army, like, and you now fully control her, she basically
Yeah.
doesn't have any more lines in the story. That's the kind of shit they're adding back in. So now
Quick
those
shot.
characters are gonna have development.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
Brett.
sick.
Shut up. Crispy.
Hello.
Thank you. Chris Davis.
This is a short sound test.
Oh, thank Jesus. Okay. All right.
We got a great show
Everyone,
lined up for you tonight. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. You're fucking not sorry. No, you're not. Don't fucking lie.
I'm sorry. Hang on.
Take
Oh, I don't have my
ownership of what you did.
I don't have my camera on. I'm sorry. Hang on.
Fuck, the timing on that was just
Oh,
impeccable.
it's crazy, right?
Okay. All right. Real quick. Let me just get this party started, then I'll turn you loose. All right. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 838. It's June 17th, 2025. I'm your host, Nick Henderson, joined tonight by Brad Simons,
Hello.
Christopher Guthridge,
Hello.
and Christopher Davis.
You know, I drove an hour to Round Rock to pick up this fucking hat because it got delivered to the wrong address, and I can't anymore. I gotta take this off. It is squeezing my
What?
head. My head is too big
What?
for this
It's an
fucking hat, and I
adjustable.
hate it so much.
Is it
Also,
not adjustable? Is it not adjustable?
Also,
It's
you
it's
can't wear a hat.
fully adjustable.
Oh, Chris Davis, you got a fucking melon, man. It's
I got a
Oh,
fucking melon. I hate it.
Fucking big brain over here.
He's on the last fucking nipple. Not even like two
Yeah.
of the last nipple.
Yeah.
The last nipple.
I will tell you,
I'm
I
sorry.
had to Google before the show snapback hat extender. And that is a product that evidently exists.
Oh my
Because
god.
you're not the only person out there with a melon head.
You can't just get the hat in a bigger size. Is it because
No.
it's like from Japan and they don't have heads like
That might
yours
be
over
it.
there?
No, I ordered it from Big Bad Toy Store, and it said
Dude.
one size fits most. And evidently,
Yeah, Big
I'm
Bad
not
Toy
most.
Store gets all their shit from Japan, don't they?
Okay. To bring us back to the topic, since you cut me off by starting the podcast, just
How dare
Crispy,
you,
listen to
Nick?
this.
Yeah.
How
Crispy, listen to
fucking
this.
dare you?
Someone on
Okay.
Twitter asks. Someone on Twitter tweets at Matsuno and he says, "Would be nice to see you and Yoshi P's team working on a standalone game somewhere in the future." This was last September, right?
Yeah.
And he responds, "I don't think so." By the way, he is working with Yoshi P's team on this Final Fantasy Tactics
don't
remaster. By the way,
think
currently,
so.
he says, "I don't think so. I presented some proposals to him before, but he did not adopt them. Therefore, I do not see any possibility of working with him in the future."
No.
This is the most
fucking
He just
way.
said that. He just said that on Twitter.
Yeah, but
That is like the most
that's-
open book answer I've ever heard. I feel
Dude,
like no
that's-
beat around the bush bullshit. Just
That
wow.
has to be a translation thing too, right? Like
Well, his English is not like his native tongue, I guess.
that's what I'm saying. Like I think he's just like, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Like
So you know how he says all he does is play like Final Fantasy 14, which he is admitted to.
Yeah.
Someone says, this guy's response says, "Oh, I see. It's a shame, but I understand. In the end, a lot of factors come into play. Yada yada yada. Still cherish." And yeah, he's just glazing them, right? And
Yeah.
Matsuno says, "Unlike before, I'm not as obsessed with creating my own games. In fact, it's easier for me to play games than to create them."
Dude,
Laughs.
hell yeah. We got another one. We got another one. The gamers reclaimed another one.
But Jager assured him it wasn't a lifestyle
Dude,
game.
that's like Martin Scorsese being like, I just want to watch movies now.
Dude, that's
Like,
exactly what happened.
I just want to watch movies. I'm sick of making them. I think the best ones have been made. I'm gonna watch those. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Hey, real quick, since I'm gonna piggyback on that for a second as like a little segue, because I wanted to just quickly mention the situation I experienced this past weekend, because I went to see an excellent movie in theaters.
Which one?
I went and saw Life of Chuck. You haven't heard of Life of Chuck,
dude?
What? None of y'all here have heard of Life of Chuck? Oh my god!
I've heard of
okay.
it. I know it's
Dude.
about dealing with death, and that's exactly what I needed in my
Low-key-
midlife crisis.
No. Seriously,
Metal Gear Survive.
look, listen, buddy. I'm like, my anxiety that I like actually have like been in therapy about is related to like anxiety over like the inevitability of death and shit, right? This whole movie is about kind of like talking about the inevitability of death and like bringing you to terms with it in like a really beautiful way. And it's based on a short story written by Stephen King, directed by Mike Flanagan, starring Tom Hiddleston and a bunch of other recognizable people. Very, very, very good movie. But like, the reason I wanted to bring it up was because to the point of what Chris Davis just said, because it's a movie about getting comfortable with the idea of death. And it was like really helping me. I was like, oh my god, this movie it's like healing me in a way that like therapy has not really been able to heal me. And I was like, that's kind of amazing. And at like 90% of the way through the movie, right, there's this like beautiful scene where he's like he's as a young boy, the main character Chuck is having a conversation with his teacher, like a middle school teacher, and she's trying to explain to him why you shouldn't worry about death. Like, it's inevitable, it could happen at any moment, no point in being concerned about it. And I sat here thinking to myself, like, man, she's right. Like, it could just happen at any time. And like, I might not even see the end of this movie. And then a minute later, the power went out.
And you're like, oh god!
I still haven't seen the end of the movie.
Did you get a refund?
But let me tell you, no, they gave us a rain check thing. So,
Okay.
but I think it's gonna be out in streaming like within a couple weeks. So we're probably just gonna wait till it's streaming and watch it then. But they gave us a rain check thing. But like, my point is, fucking fantastic movie. I have no idea how it ends. Like, easily one of my favorite movies of the year. So
You still haven't seen the
Highly
whole
recommend.
thing?
no, I like it. This happened on Saturday.
What if the ending
The
is
whole-
Yeah,
like
what
he
if
was
it-
learning the wrong lesson? Nah, just kidding.
No. Like,
you
what if
know?
it
you can
unravels?
you can kind of feel you get a feel for like kind of where it's going, and like it's a comforting movie, I suppose. Like it's supposed to kind of like, I don't know.
That's
point is-
I mean, that's really interesting, Nick. I honestly, I know, like, you know, I'll say things kind of flippantly a lot where I'm like, you know, we all die one day, and you always have like a, oh God, kind of reaction.
Yes.
I honestly didn't know that you
Oh no, yeah,
had
yeah,
that kind of anxiety about it.
yeah.
I'm sorry. but-
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, it's just it's one of those things that like for whatever reason over the last 2 years
is-
I've been struggling with.
Nick,
But
but you know, it's all of our waters return to the well one day, you know?
yes,
And
yes,
then one day, when we have enough of the water, the Lisan Al Gaib will change the face of Arrakis into a green paradise, and we shall all dwell forever in the eternal green.
you know, I feel like I should just kind of let you transition into talking about Dune Awakening right now, because it would feel like a missed opportunity if I will say this: we have a lot to cover tonight because we didn't do a podcast last week, and we hung out and watched a bunch of game trailers. So thanks everybody who tuned in, and just hung out with us. It was a great time. But yeah, we haven't really talked since the Switch 2 launched. We haven't talked since Summer Game Fest. And you know, Brad's played a demo of Mina the Hollower, so like
He needs to get it off his
have-
chest.
Oh, really?
Things
A
have
lot of demos.
happened.
There's a lot of really good demos in the Next Fest.
Did
A lot
it
of like
suck?
the bangers from SGF are just in Next Fest.
But to that point, I want to remind everybody on this call tonight that we got a lot to cover, and we will get to it all. I think I'm going to save like the Switch stuff for a little bit later. But right now, I'm gonna let Crispy talk about Dune Awakening.
Oh, you're gonna start with my game? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The litany against.
He tried to get us to play this last week instead of doing trailer talk.
I did, and Nick was too cheap to do it.
Yeah,
I was
it was pretty cheap.
I said,
It was
"Fine,
very
I'll do it myself," and I whipped out my credit card.
And
yeah.
here we are.
So, wow, I don't know what to say, man.
It's Dune.
It
It's a
is
survival
Dune.
game.
It is Dune as fuck, and like, I went super hard on this over the last 72 hours. Like, I think of the last 70 hours, 30 of those are this game alone.
Jesus.
And I mean that's at least 2 like 10-hour sessions. Like,
And this game is reviewing pretty well, which is kind of
It's
like
reviewing
I was kind of
well,
surprised
like-
to see how it's doing.
it's a survival crafting action MMO, so there is some weirdness, you know, there is some roughness around the edges that you might expect to encounter in such a
All
title.
of those genres independently tend to have some rough edges, so when you combine them all,
I have
together.
heard nothing good about the combat.
I'm seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of people say they don't like the combat. I do like the combat. I think the problem is that, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, we can want good things always," you know, I guess. But like, you know, maybe things like Dark Souls has like broken people's brains a little bit as to like what is acceptable for like what genres. Like, this
Those
is a
were the worst thing that
survival-
could possibly happen to the industry. Yeah.
No, I don't. I will never say that. But like,
monstrous
maybe we've
things.
had it too good for too long, or like, you know, like maybe our priorities or the way we, you know, the way we
Maybe we're
decide what is
spoiled.
good and what is bad is a little too narrow. You know what I mean? Because like, I think the combat in this, it is not very deep, but it is good for for the game it is in, and it is genuine. Like, it's fun once you figure out what is going on with it, and it also like kind of preserves the unique aesthetic of the setting. Like, the combat is based around concepts they talk about in the book. Like how you use your shield, how you fight somebody with a shield. Like, that's all really important. And like, just like in the world of Dune, like, because shields exist, melee is a more important part of combat than like ranged combat is, right? Like
Right.
ranged combat, you have the safety of distance, but your shields drop when you fire your gun because they have to. So
Right.
like if you're shooting somebody who's shooting you, you're making yourself vulnerable. But if you can close that gap and you have a good enough shield, that might actually be safer than like trying to take on somebody from a distance. You know?
Yeah.
The thing, like the mechanics, like the stuff in the game that they give you that is like unique to Dune, that is like that was not envisioned by Denis Villeneuve in his movies, but like kind of given like the modern visual language,
styling.
right?
Yeah.
Like that stuff is all done really well. Like you've been seeing me like float around, like I have a suspensor belt, right? Like, you know, like how Baron Harkonnen just kind of like floats around everywhere, or like those
Yeah.
scenes of like the Sardaukar and the Harkonnen troops like floating just like kind of silently. Like
Creepy
you do
shit, yeah.
like you do shit like that in this game, and it's sick. You do shit like you have to use slower, stronger strikes against shielded opponents because the slow blade penetrates the shield, you know? And when you do it, it looks like in the movie when someone's doing it, and then like you like rack up against the shield, and then the shield starts reacting, blah, 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 and it's like turning from blue to red, and then you cut through and like kill them. Like, it's so sick.
I feel like this could have so easily, like, if this was like a cash in, like, I think a lot of people were maybe expecting it to be a cash in, right? I mean, that's
yeah.
like,
And like one that is
in regular third person shooting mechanics and not even like bothered to like really dig deep into like the lore and shit, but it sounds like that's not the case.
Dune also exists in that same weird bubble that like Lord of the Rings exists in, where like it's almost too important to just be like Star Wars or Harry Potter or something.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like elevated, like it's a material that's been around for a long time that people have like really connected with and like have studied academically, like Lord of the Rings especially. Like there are academics like English scholars who
Brad went to Lord of the Rings college.
Yeah. Like shit like that, right? And Dune is like is pretty much almost there. Like Dune is basically the science fiction version of that, right? Like in terms of its place in our society. But they're also still like media properties that like corporations put out video games and like animated movies and shit about, right? So it's not quite the Avengers, but it's also not quite like, but it's also kind of sharing space with like Shakespeare and Gilgamesh and like important like works in the like English language, right? Like it's weird.
Wild.
So I think there's
I
think there's like a lot of skepticism no matter what, whenever a Dune anything comes out, or whenever a Lord of the Rings anything comes out. And we've seen this before, right? Like Shadows of War would probably be a universally loved game if it wasn't Lord of the Rings, you know? Like I don't know. Like even fucking what was that? Return to Moria, right? Might have done better if it wasn't Lord of the Rings. But also kind of like Return to Moria, this game seems to have been devised by people who at least kind of get it, you know?
Yeah.
Like Mines of Moria or Return to Moria, I don't think, like, from what I've heard, the gameplay is kind of like whatever, but like a lot of people have said if you're legitimately like into Lord of the Rings, this might be cool because it kind of like extrapolates on the lore a bit more.
Into the lore in unique ways, or
this does that as well. Like the conceit behind this game, like the opening cutscene is Paul Atreides talking about visions that he's had, right? And like in the book, in the books, like these visions, he's always talking about like seeing all the different like possible futures, like all the different possible timelines, and he has like a narrow path that he must walk, that he must guide humanity down, and there's only like one chance, and every other outcome is absolute disaster, right?
Right.
And he's like mentioning these different timelines, and then like he's like every timeline I have seen ends in calamity except for one, and that's the one where you exist. And this world, like the concept of this world is that Paul was never born. Lady Jessica was commanded by the Bene Gesserit to sire a daughter on Duke Leto, and instead she defied them and sired a son because she thought that she could make the Kwisatz Haderach, right? And that's what Paul is, or yeah, basically. In this world, she doesn't do that. She has a daughter, so there is no Paul Atreides. There's a girl named I don't remember what they named her. Something Atreides, right? And so like the midnight coup on Arrakis, like the Battle of Arrakeen, never. It's not Pauline. No, it's like Solstice or Celeste. Or, it's something with an S.
I thought Wing It in chat was
No. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's like an actual sci-fi name. Like the Battle of Arrakeen never happened. So like the whole like the Harkonnen killing all the Atreides in one night and taking control of the planet, and Paul running into the desert and meeting up with the Fremen and then becoming Muad'Dib, right? None of that happens. Instead, now there is like this locked, like what they call the War of Assassins on Arrakis. Like the Atreides and the Harkonnen are both on Arrakis in pretty much equal measure. They're locked in this like Cold War of like discrete political assassinations. Like they're not really having all out battles, and it's just kind of like this huge fucking slog. And your character is a prisoner who is brought in by the Bene Gesserit because they think your character might be the Kwisatz Haderach or like have some part to play in the rise of the Kwisatz Haderach. And so they send you to Dune. Your transport that you're on, your prison transport, crashes, and you are on the planet, and it's like, good luck. The mission that they give you is they want you to find out what happened to the Fremen. So another thing in this world is that like the Harkonnen succeeded in wiping out the Fremen. There's no more Fremen, as far as I know. But your mission is to like find out what happened.
To figure out what's going on with them. Yeah.
Right. Your mission is to like find out what happened to him. And like that's like these are good decisions for like if I wanted to make a game set in this world, like this is a pretty decent way to set that up, right? Because now like the Sardaukar are like the most powerful enemy in the game. The Sardaukar are the Emperor's like private troops, right? They're the most powerful enemies in the game. The whole point in the original Dune was that nobody could beat Sardaukar, and then everyone finds out that the Fremen can. And the Fremen like have no problem killing Sardaukar. And that's crazy.
No
huh? Yeah, but now there's no Fremen, right? Yeah. So now that there's no Fremen to fight back because there was no one who ever united them, the Emperor has like a death grip on the planet, right? And you kind of have to exist within that framework. As far as the gameplay, it is kind of fucking brutal. It's tough. Like, as far as surviving go, it is more focused on that than a lot of these games that I've played, right? Like it's not just about, you don't have to like eat food, I don't think, but like you have to drink water. You have to constantly keep yourself hydrated to the point where like you're making decisions between like, do I want to wear armor or do I want to wear a still suit? Still suit's not going to offer me as much protection, but it captures water and I can drink from
it. You drink to pee. Yeah, and you sweat.
And like water is your number one resource in this game. You need other resources. Like you need like tree punching shit and you need money, but you need water, and not just to survive, but also like production, right? Like you need water to make basically most materials after like the second tier. You need water to run some of the more advanced generators. Like the most advanced power generator you get runs on spice, and it requires 2 million milliliters of water to keep your base running for 20 days.
Jesus Christ.
And you have to keep generators power. So like you build bases, right? And those bases, what makes them a base is that they have a shield around them that protects them from the weather and from sandworms, right? You need that shield to keep running, which means you have to keep putting fuel cells into it.
It's just
and
2,000 liters.
It decays. It decays over time. It's kind of like, remember like V Rising when I was talking about that? You had like your vampire castle and you needed blood to keep it, like, to keep your domain strong. It's that same thing, except now you need water. Except also the best way to get water is sucking it out of dead people. Like that is the most surefire way to get water, is to exsanguinate corpses and then feed their blood into
with the corpses.
Exsanguinate them.
Exsanguinate.
Suck their blood out and convert it to water. Filter out all the blood
Drain
stuff.
them of their
Suck
liquid.
it all out, and then you put it in filters to make it water. And like later on, so like one of the main quests in the game is that you're like following the path of the Fremen. Like you're like learning their ways and going to different cultural sites and like having spice visions and like learning the ways of the desert, right? You know, you're becoming like Muad'Dib, the kangaroo mouse, who is very wise in the ways of the desert. He makes his own water. And one of the thing you get for finishing that is a Fremen death still, which is that thing in the movie. You guys have all seen the movies, right?
I have a feeling Chris Davis has not.
I saw the first one.
You didn't see the second one?
No.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
I didn't see either.
Remember in the second movie
this
when they get back to Siege Tabor and they bring Jameis? Shut up, Chris. I know you don't know what's going on. You're not part of the conversation.
I'm the only one.
When they bring Jameis's body back to Siege Tabor and they put it in that thing that like sucks all the water out, right? That's a death still. So eventually this game becomes collecting corpses and throwing them into your like base's water filtration system to like pump them up, right? The one thing I will say is that like so there are two kinds of death in this game too. There's any death that you experience in the open world is pretty tame, because all it means is that you drop whatever money you're holding, you drop some like materials if you're holding them, and then you have to respawn somewhere. But all your gear and everything you keep, it just kind of degrades a little bit, right? Not very punishing. If you get killed by a sandworm, like get eaten by a worm, you lose whatever you have equipped. It's all gone. And that has happened to me twice, and it was
tell us about the worms.
Absolutely devastating both times, because both times I was on like supply runs trying to like move shit between bases, and I got eaten and lost everything, and then it took me hours to rebuild and recover. Like real brutal shit. The worms, right? So the game is big open desert with a lot of like rocky area, like islands between, right? Anytime you're out on open sand, you are attracting the worms. You have to move. You have to be quick. And like,
do they do anything that kind of like indicates to you that the worms like?
Oh yeah. Like there's a little thing on your HUD, first of all, that comes up that shows like how much vibration you're causing. And the more that starts like reacting, when it starts turning red, that's like the worm is here. And also the worm is massive, and everything around you starts like getting like you can tell there's something running up on you.
The world is shaking.
Yeah, it's fucking
But
unmistakable.
you can't do the weird walk thing where they minimize.
Nobody knows how to do it. The Fremen are gone. That's a Fremen thing. Sand walking is a Fremen thing. So nobody knows how to do it. There is rumors that they're gonna add it in a later tier. Like I mean,
that would make sense.
So like I think right now it goes up to like tier 9 of like abilities and things you can craft, and they're gonna expand later, and they're saying like they'll probably add that later. But yeah, there's not like, I think there's like a rare pair of boots you can find that reduces your
winged boots.
No, yeah, they're called like light step boots or something.
Boots of blinding speed.
But
you're naming some pretty sick boots.
Reduces your vibrations. But yeah, other than that, like there's not really a way around it. You just have to not be on the sand if you can help it. You know, and be really quick.
That's the shit I'm talking about, man. Like
what's crazy? Oh, dude, awesome. The first time, what is cool is like the first time you get killed by the worm, you have like a spice vision where like this character called like the guide. I don't know what he's supposed to be, but like he talks to you and he's like, he's saying like, "Oh, Shai Hulud finds no sustenance in your soul. Who are you? Like, who is it that starves a god in his own desert? Like, like all this weird stuff. And you're in this like place that looks like a valley, but like when you look up, the top of the valley looks like the worm's mouth, like closed in around you, and then it's just like stars beyond that. It's so cool. It's crazy.
And this game actually sounds pretty sick.
It is really sick, and I haven't done any PvP yet.
So you've just been playing solo?
Yeah, I've been playing solo. I've been like running into other players, but they can't hurt me because I'm in PvE. So basically, the way PvP works is like there are so like one of the types of points of it, like dungeons you can run, are ship crashes, right?
Yeah.
Those ship crashes are the only place where you can find certain materials that usually go towards building weapons and armor. But all of those ship crashes are PvP areas. So if you go into a ship and there's other players in there, it's on, right? And then at end game, once you've like finished the story and you like are at your top crafting level, you can go into the deep desert. And the deep desert is entirely PvP. And that's also the only place where they do like regular wipes, right? It's called the Coriolis Storm. So basically you can build bases and shit in the deep desert, but every like week or 2 weeks a storm comes and wipes everything out and moves all the dungeons, moves all the resources, moves everything. But that's end game. That's the deep desert. That is the stuff where it's like you probably can't. Most people probably aren't gonna have a good time doing that solo. But like I don't know, there are people who do it. I'm still like I'm 30 hours in and I'm still kind of inching my way through the like tech tree. Like I haven't even gotten to ornithopters yet, but eventually you get like an ornithopter and you can just like fly around and like what I'm in a stage right now where like I have to meticulously plan every trip I take because I have to route where I'm gonna go on the sand to make
Subnautica
sure.
shit right there, and that's
It is like Subnautica, but it feels even more deadly than that. Like you guys played Subnautica on Explorer mode or something, didn't you?
No,
like,
I played the one where you don't have to eat.
Yeah. You can't do that in this game, and if you did, it would defeat the purpose. But yeah, dude, it's sick. And I mean, like, is it high art? No, but it's better than I think a lot of people thought it was going to be.
I mean, it sounds like it's leveraging the lore the way it needs to. So
I played a little bit of Conan Exiles. I didn't play a whole lot of it, but I played a bit of it recently, like at the end of its development cycle, right?
Yeah.
And it was good, but it was another one of those games that like kind of iterated a lot, like had to change and evolve and add things and kind of figure it out along the way. And this game feels like it benefited from a lot of that,
Yeah.
It's still not perfect. It still needs a lot of work, probably. It's gonna need more content, balancing.
Is it 1.0 yet, or is this early access?
Yeah, this is 1.0.
Cool.
This is 1.0. But dude, this game is sick. And I mean, I love Dune. Maybe I'm a little biased, right? Maybe I just have like a affinity for the source material, so I'm kind of seeing a rosy tinted picture of this. But like, it's a fucking sick game, and I mean, like the first time you fucking parry somebody and then like cut through their shield and then like suck their blood out, take it to your water machine and then like fill a liter jar with water and drink it to like save your life, you're like, okay, yeah, this is sick. I didn't even talk about the classes. Oh my god. Yeah, like they have character classes that are all based on like the different great schools of the Imperium. So like I have Bene Gesserit powers. Like I can do like the voice.
You can do the voice?
Yeah. And I can do a bunch of different like versions of the voice that do different things. Like I can do one that's just stop, where like if someone's shooting at me, I'll just be like stop, and then they'll just like and then I just like walk up and execute them. Like it's so sick. Like there's troopers. You can learn Blade Master shit. You can learn Mentat shit. You can learn Planetology, which is an excellent class. Has a lot of really cool shit for like using suspensor belts and like power management and like. Dude, yeah, it's fucking sick. You pick, like, you customize your character. You actually like pick what world you come from, and those have like little bonuses. So like my character is from the machine world Ix, which is a planet they talk about later in the books. But you can be like from Giedi Prime, you can be from Seleucus Secundus. Actually, I don't know about that one. You can be from Caladan, the Atreides homeworld. Like, and then you can also pick like what caste of society you're from. Like, were you a noble? Were you like part of the merchant or like, you know, labor class, or were you like a peasant? You know, and those will like affect dialogue that you have with people. They'll affect missions and like all kinds of shit. So like I picked a peon from the machine world Ix. So like I'm fucking, I don't know. I like
This sounds really fucking cool.
It's very fun. It's joyous. Like, if you played Valheim and had fun with that, I feel like this is better. Like, this is really cool.
I think I'm gonna try this. Also, you kind of got me in the mood because I read the first Dune book a while back before Dune Part 2 came out. But I've had Messiah sitting on my shelf for a long time and I haven't read.
Yeah, and Messiah. Oh, dude. My
body is ready.
And then God Emperor. Dude, they're doing. Oh, my God. Let me tell you something. I've watched both of the Dune movies multiple times recently. They're so good. They're so sick.
I still need to rewatch Dune Part 2.
This game is not directly tied into it. So they don't use everything from the movies, but they use a lot of inspiration. And I feel like this game, if you dig like the visual language of those movies, this game's got you. Dude, yeah, like when you run up on somebody and they like pull their sword and activate their shield, and you're like, okay, I'll turn my shield on, and then you fight them, dude. And then later on, when you're done fighting them and you start like walking out into the desert, and you're like, oh shit, I forgot to turn my shield off, which I better do, because if I don't, it attracts the worm quicker, you know, just like it does in the books. Like, fuck, man.
Can you ride the worms?
No.
Damn.
No. But they might add that later. But that's a Fremen thing. Like, only Fremen know how to. That's a Fremen thing. Like, nobody here knows how to use the fucking Makar sticks. Nobody here knows how to make like good still suits. Nobody knows how to sandwalk. Nobody knows. I don't know, man. I think, I don't know.
I watched. Winged says he thinks the David Lynch film is better, which is wild to me. I watched the David Lynch film for the first time like a year ago. Wow.
It's good. It's good, but it's weird.
I don't know.
It's a very
I don't know. I did not like it.
Look, no.
That's just Nick. We don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into that.
No.
I know that.
I think it's. I don't think David Lynch doesn't like it. Like, he doesn't like his version of Dune, and I get that. Like I don't know how you could really do a version of that movie and be like completely happy with it. Like, even Villeneuve's, like, I think it makes excellent changes to the source material when necessary to like adapt it to a movie. But like, there's stuff in there. There's stuff missing that I'm like, oh my God, that just kills. Like, it sucks that Jessica and Leto have literally 2 scenes together, and in only one of them do they even talk to each other. Like, it kind of sucks that we just didn't have time for that, you know?
Yeah.
Like they removed the big banquet scene at the palace. Like, you know, there's stuff that, like, I don't know how you, like, it, I don't know. I've watched both of them recently. I think that, like, as a more, like, kind of earnest, modern telling, I do think the Villeneuve movies are better. Like, I think they have a lot more going on. The Lynch film is just, like, it's really good. It has all of the weirdness and has all of the, like, pomp and like gravitas of the book, but like not contextualized in any way, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then, like, I don't know. That's like weird. his idea of, like, he invented the whole weirding module thing, where like Paul's like killing people with his voice. he's like Muad'Dib, and then like the statue breaks, and he's like, my voice, it is or my name, it is a killing word. Like it's crazy. It's just weird. I don't know. It's so good. They're all great. I love it. This game's great. If you like Dune, I think there's
Do you like Dune?
something for you here.
I do like Dune, and I think Brad and Chris Davis should both watch those films.
They're coming
just
back
saying.
to theaters, right? This summer.
Probably.
Are they?
I think I heard that. Yeah,
I could have sworn that already.
There was a mini series
Maybe I'm
from
wrong.
it already
Yeah.
happened.
I
No,
thought
it's
so.
happening
Maybe I'm
again.
wrong.
It's happening again.
What?
The
believe
movies are
it's coming
the Villeneuve
Oh,
films are
right
coming
I
back
never
to
watched
theaters.
them because I
Look at the
refused to
footage.
watch
Look at
them
the
at
footage.
home.
This is the first time I've ever seen a spice blow. Like, this is something that happens out in the desert. Is that like you'll get these giant eruptions, and you're like, "What
That's
the fuck
pretty
was
cool.
that?" It's spice coming up out of the desert, and then like people will go and try and mine it. I'm not even like advanced enough for that yet, but like, that was the first time I'd actually seen one while I was recording this footage, and I was like, "Oh shit,
That's cool.
what is that?"
Nice. All right, thanks, Crispy. I'm gonna check that out. It's pretty cool. It's also in our Steam family library. Just pointing that out. Brad, you have some
We can put it
demos.
together. Oh
You have
yeah,
some
let's
demos for
do
us.
that. Let's rattle them off. I do have footage though. Chris Davis, you want it?
Yeah, we'll start with Mina.
Okay, so some of the cooler games that they showed at SGF or some of the games that got dates, yada yada yada. Some of the games that I've been interested in got demos during the Steam Next Fest. And I'm going to talk about a few of them here.
There's Mina the Hollower footage running right now. So.
Mina the Hollower, yes, is one that obviously I've been very, very excited for. I love Shovel Knight, and they decided, hey, what if like Castlevania met like old school Zelda? And I'm like, okay, yeah, just make the best game ever. And that's what they did, making Mina the Hollower. And wait, the footage went away? I'm so confused.
It's footage is there. I'm watching it right now.
Okay, I'm just a little behind on my stream. Okay. So yeah, I'm at like mash up like a Game Boy Color Zelda game with Castlevania, and that's Mina the Hollower. By the way, this comes out on Halloween, and
is it Halloween like the day of Halloween?
It comes
is that
out
what the release date?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, Castlevania has always been very Halloween coded, right? And since this is very much inspired by like Castlevania, it makes sense, right? I mean, I'm not currently using the whip, but there's like a chain whip, just like in Castlevania. You're throwing sub weapons like daggers and axes, just like in Castlevania. But it is like kind of the structure of a isometric Zelda game, obviously. And I'm using this hammer. There was a lot of things I was not expecting about this game. I've been following it, but in the trailers always have like a ton going on, and I'm always kind of like, whoa, I can't believe. I'm always blown away every time I see a Mina the Hollower trailer by like how much I'm seeing. Like seriously, go watch the latest Mina the Hollower trailer that was at the, I don't know, SGF or whatever. And there's so much going on. That's how I know like this game is going to be an all-timer. You just watch the trailers and you're just like, holy shit, right?
This is
but
like
the demo
this is
is
one
just
of the prestige, like this is like
area.
one of those prestige indies, right? Like
yeah, because it's from the Shovel Knight developers. It's like
yeah.
their first original game after Shovel Knight, and they've sort of catapulted them to like the status of indie royalty because Shovel Knight is very loved, and they released like 3 DLCs that were like basically full Shovel Knight campaigns after that with all these unique characters, and it's just like they've been goated, right? And people love the character of Shovel Knight, and I don't know. So this is their first follow-up, but it's instead of just Mega Man, right? This is 2 retro flavors that I enjoy a lot more than Mega Man. And I will say this is an old school style retro game, so don't get it twisted, right? This game is tough. That was like the first thing that kind of surprised me is like I went into this game and I was like dying a lot, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, because they make retro style games, and games were harder back then, right?
They sure were.
And like I think our vocabulary is so broken these days that I was like, oh, it's kind of like a Souls game, and then I'm like, no, you fucking idiot, it's just hard. Because that's what games are like back then. I'm using a hammer, by the way, that like you can charge it up, and it like once you're charging, you can't choose the direction. So at first I was like, well, this seems terrible. if I can't change the direction while I'm charging the hammer, like this is awful. Because there's different weapons that you can choose. Even in the demo, you start, then you can pick one of 3 weapons at the start of the demo. And I played through the demo with the whip or whatever, so I'm playing through with the hammer. But while you're charging, you can like dodge roll back, like to the side and back and forward to get into position to land that charged hit, which is very strong. And it's like, well, this is a very like unique mechanic, and I guess that's the whole like vibe of the game, right? It's a retro style game with retro sensibilities and retro difficulty, but it has a lot of like modern ideas, and and like some modern feel to it, right? Which is kind of what worked with like with Shovel Knight. And it's definitely working here. Like the main mechanic though is that you're a mouse and you burrow into the ground, and it's like your main like mobility move, like both in and out of combat. But like you're so much faster when you're under the ground, and then you sort of like pop up, that if you're
Yeah.
not constantly burrowing, you're just gonna get fucked up, right? Because you're not moving like a more modern character unless you're burrowing. But you can only stay under the ground for like a limited amount of time. It's also how you like jump. So like you're fighting enemies that are like in the air, so you kind of have to burrow and like pop out and like time your aerial attacks like with where you're going to be when you pop out. It's kind of how you're doing your platforming. It's all designed around like this mobility. And it just seems very like tight and well considered, like from the level design to the gameplay, to the combat. But like it's very punishing. Like if you fight sloppy, you're gonna get sent back, and you're gonna get sent back to like a checkpoint that might be further away than your modern, more like forgiving checkpointed game, right?
Do you think that's going to have any effect on it
No,
critically?
I
mean,
no,
I'm just curious.
no,
Like,
no. It's not like fucking so hard. Like
well, I'm
it's
not
just
saying,
not,
but,
it's not as breezy. Like I just got through playing like Pipistrello, which was also like, can be like a pretty challenging game until you get like a decent ways into it. This I can tell is like, oh, and maybe this game will get like that too, but like it feels very designed to be like a not a difficult game, but a game where you can't fight sloppy, which is what classic Castlevania was like, right? Classic Castlevania was a game where if you just ran around and whipped things, you were going to be out of health in no time. So you had to really learn the enemy types and learn the spacing and the timing, and like the level design to be able to be successful at it. This isn't quite that, but you can tell that they were definitely going for this sort of inspired, like that sort of inspired considered
Right.
design, right? But it's good. Like it's
looks
just
good.
they're good at making this style of game. And I got to be honest with you, like to me, I love Shovel Knight. I truly love Shovel Knight. But like I think this has like so much more going on. Like I said, watch a trailer. It seems like a lot. Like it seems like they've been making this game for years, and they have, and you can see that not just because this is a well-made like game or whatever, but because you watch a trailer and you're like, how is all of this in a game? Right? I'm trying to think of another game
Also, at the same
that's
time,
like
they've been
that, where
making
you watch a trailer and you're like, it just seems like too much.
But they've also been somehow making like shit tons of Shovel Knight content at the same time.
Yeah, they have been, right? Which is why, their games take a long time, right? Like this is a boss, and again, a very retro style boss. Like it fucks me up super quick, right? But I'm playing this hammer that when timed right, I can like kill this boss in like 2 hits. But I have to like really time it right and nail it, and it just kind of fucks me up at first, right? Which is good. I don't know what to, whatever. Mina the Hollower.
We're going to talk about
Be a
it
great
when the
one.
full game
It comes out on
out,
Halloween.
for sure.
I'm excited. There's like a lot of cool like effects. I love when an enemy is like one tap from death, they start glowing. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Because, there's not like health bars and shit, right? But like being in a really tense battle, like it's nice to be able to like know when I just need to get one more hit in for him to die. And
Yeah.
it leads to a lot of like risky hits, and like maybe you'll die trying, but like it's a cool little effect like that. And there's a lot of cool stuff in there. But yeah, we'll talk about it when it comes out later this year. I'm super hyped. It's gonna be a good one. Who has it in Fantasy Critic? I think it's Carlos actually. This will be a dub for sure. Another game I played. What do you got, Chris Davis?
How about Absolum?
Absolum. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is an interesting one. This is a we've talked about it,
Absolum?
I think, with a trailer talk before, maybe. This is a
Oh
.emu
yeah, this
game.
game.
This is
It's a
a
what?
beat 'em up roguelike from some of the people who worked on Streets of Rage 4, which is a really good idea. I will say, first and foremost, this is a really pretty game, and it's really polished, and like there's voice acting and stuff, and that this is a game from people who understand beat 'em ups, right? And like the beat 'em up aspects of the game like feel extremely good, like they would, right? These people worked on Streets of Rage. I mean, they just understand beat 'em ups, right? It's funny because Emu is like putting out so many games. This is supposed to come out later this year, but it doesn't have a date. Since it's .emu is already like shipping 2 games this year, I think I could see this one maybe slipping, but it looks it like the presentation's really good. The music's great, the voice acting is great, and like the beat 'em up like feel, like the way you're like juggling enemies and like they're bouncing off of walls into your combos and you're doing dash attacks that kind of pop them up, and like everything feels really good, looks really good. But it is a roguelike. This is what kind of like interested me at first. It's like, well, that's you don't see that genre in roguelike form very often, and these guys seem like they understand the genre. So let's see if they can pull off a roguelike. And I will say it's exciting, but it's a little weird because I feel like we play a lot of like throwback beat 'em up style games, but they're all like kind of nostalgia, like not like they're fun, but like it's a genre that doesn't really exist in a modern form. The modern form of the game are like these throwback style games that play like they used to, right? Even like Streets of Rage 4, right? Which is an old series.
Right.
And we've seen like some modern takes on it, like Dragon's Crown, I think was a really good one from Vanillaware, right? But that was a
But even that was a while ago.
side-scrolling beat 'em up, but like they have the very like slow vertical movement, right? Like if you've ever played a beat 'em up, or some people call them like belt action games. Back in the day, they called them belt. Some I don't know. Some people call them belt action games
Interesting
because
term.
because they're like side scrolling, but you can kind of move up and down, right? And you're getting into like that side scrolling up and down combat. But like if someone is not in your like horizontal plane and they're above you or below you, it can be kind of clunky like getting to them in time because up and down movement is really slow. Now in this game there's some neat ideas, right? Like you can dodge up and down, and to like attack like quickly, like above or below you, or get out of the way above or below you. But it does some neat shit that I don't think I've seen in like beat 'em ups before, where if you hold the attack button down, you'll like dodge out of the way, but you'll dodge back into an attack. So it's like you can kind of use it as a spot dodge without actually stopping your combo, kind of, which is a really
Right.
neat idea for like kind of getting around that sort of like old school clunk that is like inherent to the genre. So like there's some neat ideas. I will say though, you can tell like maybe they're not like like they're it's giving like this is my first roguelike energy, where some of like the power-ups, like you could tell it's somewhat inspired by Hades, right? Which in terms of like quest design and like the way that stuff evolves with NPCs and stuff you meet in the world seems really neat. But like I'm not getting like a lot of the, like in Hades they're boons, right? Here like the
Right.
equivalent of that like seems cool, but like there's not so much of them to where I'm feeling like getting unique builds, and some of that stuff seems like way more powerful than others, and it like the kinds of upgrades you're getting on your character as you're going through don't seem all that inspired. And kind of they don't in Hades, but Hades is so well tuned, and like their weapon design is so fucking good that it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter that
Right.
as a roguelike, it's the most like innovative roguelike in the world, because they're just on everything is just top tier, right? And this game is getting close to that. So like I don't think it needs to be Binding of Isaac in terms of just how crazy your upgrades and shit are getting, right? Or like a lot of other roguelikes that have like really crazy stuff, because it does feel really good. But the problem is it does still feel like a retro style beat 'em up. And which means like it has some inherent clunk to it because that's what the genre is. So it doesn't quite feel as smooth or as fast as a Hades. You still have to tap double forward to be able to run, which is just something that's part of the genre. While in most modern action roguelikes, you're just gonna
You have
move
a lot more
fast and
mobility.
dodge all
Yeah.
over you want. But this is beholden to the genre, right? And we do need to move on. But I will say, like, the other thing is the health system is really weird. So like beat 'em ups, they come from like arcades, right? That are designed to like take your money. So you're going to get hit in those games, and they want you to get hit because they're trying to take your money. It's really easy to get kind of like wombo comboed to, if an enemy's behind you and, in front of you, you're just going to take a hit, which is fine because they were quarter munchers, right? But in a roguelike where you have to be very careful with your health, and there's not a lot of ways to get your health back, because if it did, it would break the roguelike formula. Here it's so easy to lose health like in a bad like encounter or like a mid boss, that it feels weird as a roguelike, because it's like, this genre isn't designed for me to play perfectly. This ain't Bayonetta, it's too clunky for that. And maybe I'm overstating it a little bit, but it feels bad when you have a bad combat encounter and you lose a lot of health, which you don't really want to experience that in a roguelike. And that feels like it could be trouble. And the last thing I'll say is, like, it is a roguelite. You are upgrading your character like permanently after a run, kind of like Rogue Legacy, but the way that's implemented honestly kind of feels uninspired. In terms of the way you upgrade your characters, like if you're going to have permanent upgrades, maybe that stuff should feel better. But then again, in Hades, it's not like the permanent upgrade stuff was all that inspired either. Like, you could tell that this game is inspired by Hades. And it's one to look
It's
at.
hard not to-
I would love to
hard not
see
to be.
how they take like the demo feedback, because I think this is the first public demo, and like kind of develop it from there. I think there's probably going to be a lot of good feedback for this game, because you can tell all other aspects outside of maybe those roguelike elements are like, man, they're fucking nailing it. Like, they're fucking nailing it. It's beautiful. It sound like I said, the music is great. I say they need to take some of that feedback to heart, and I don't know, maybe speed up the up and down movement a little bit. Next game, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Click that one. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. This is one that is coming out. It does have a date. I will say there are enemies with anti-airs in Absolum, which seems crazy because
Whoa, you just shifted back to Absolum.
you jump a lot in
Stop
beat 'em ups. Jumping is kind of the way you
God
get
damn it, man.
around some of the clunk in a side scroll, like in an old school beat 'em up. There are enemies that have anti-airs, like a fighting game, that will immediately, if you're in the air, they'll do their anti-air move and like fuck you up, which again feels bad and is crazy for this genre, but whatever. So Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, he went away. I don't know. Did he start the footage? Or is
Yes, there is footage rolling.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is the new game. This is the new side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden game. There's 2 Ninja Gaiden games coming out this year. Both have dates. Very exciting. The return of Ninja Gaiden. Also like Ninja Gaiden 4, you play as a new playable character. Actually, 2 characters in this game that are not Ryu Hayabusa. And like, this is a demo that has a few levels, and this is actually like my first time through me recording this footage.
Is this genre? Is this just like a side-scrolling action game, or is this like a Metroidvania? Like what?
This is not a traditional Metroidvania. No, like it's like a level-based thing. I don't know if there's like going to be backtracking or whatever. But this is not a Metroidvania. But neither was the classic Ninja Gaiden games, right? Like, they're just side-scrolling action.
I was just
games.
wondering if maybe it was spreading its wings into a new.
Well, I mean, some people kind of don't want that. And like Ninja Gaiden would feel maybe a little weird if it was more about exploration, because Ninja Gaiden is all about like really fast-paced combat. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, that could be cool, right? I mean, this game is being developed by the Game Kitchen, which they make Blasphemous, and the Blasphemous games are Metroidvanias. And the fact that this isn't a Metroidvania,
you famously hate Blasphemous.
No, I don't. I mean, that's a meme, right? I really liked
It is a
Blasphemous.
meme, yes.
It was more that I put it off for years, and I just sort of memed about it. But when I finally did play it, it's actually really good. Although I never finished the second game. But
They're
I heard
both
that
good.
Good too. Maybe just not quite as good. anyways, this game, the thing you realize immediately is that like it plays great. Like it's so fast and smooth. Like this is the opposite of like a old school side scrolling beat 'em up, right? Like this game is, Ryu Hayabusa, he can slash and move at the same time, right? That's Ninja Gaiden. Anyways, here it has a kind of like a lot of the side scrolling Ninja Gaiden action. Like you can like jump up walls and stuff. And anyways, the unique thing for this game is that well, there's a lot of unique things, but one of the big ones is that you can like bounce off of like enemies and projectiles, and just kind of like you're using that for like platforming and for comboing and for like building your meter to do your really powerful attacks. So like this is a very like high mobility, fast paced game where once you're kind of like on it, you can go, and it feels really
building
good.
momentum.
Yeah, like building momentum and just keep going, and like you feel it feels designed in such a way that you just want to go as fast as possible because it feels like they've designed it that way. And when you do get into those flow states, it does feel really good. But it's just very fast paced game where you're just bouncing off of things, and you're like most things you're like hitting and killing in one hit, and the things that you don't kill in one hit you can kill in one charged hit, and you get charged hits by killing certain glowing enemies that are flying, enemies are constantly spawning in because it's like an old school Ninja Gaiden game, and those games had like infinite spawn kind of, right? And you'll see like glowing enemies that if you kill them in one tap or whatever, you'll like power up your charged attack that can like kill like heavier enemies in one hit. And it's kind of all about like navigating very quickly the onslaught of enemies flying at you on screen, finally getting to one that's glowing, killing that to power up your heavy strike to be able to kill the heavier enemy in one hit. And you're just ripping through enemies. This is the Doom 2016 of side-scrolling action games, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's another character and you can like swap between them, and she's more about like ranged attacks, and it's a little bit of a like Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, a little bit where there are sections where you're like switching between the characters, but you could also like have both characters kind of like doing their ability on screen at the same time, like a partner action game, I guess. I don't know. And all that seems really cool. It's just a few levels, but like you immediately as soon as you start playing, like, oh yeah, this one feels nice. So I'm excited. I think this comes out in like August or something, or July, and it might not be as like ambitious as like a Blasphemous game, but like you could tell they understood the assignment, right? And
this could end up being my first Ninja Gaiden game.
Ninja Gaiden in both its forms is back. Wait, you've never played a 3D Ninja Gaiden game either?
I've never touched a Ninja Gaiden game.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, well, the good news is there were some hands-on impressions from like Ninja Gaiden 4 at SGF as well, and it seems like between this and Ninja Gaiden 4, like Ninja Gaiden is back, and both in the classic form and in the 3D form.
I mean, strangely enough, I don't ask me to explain this for whatever reason. I have like no interest in the 3D Ninja Gaiden. Like it just doesn't
really
appeal to me. This, however,
I don't think
gets me going.
But like that's weird.
I don't know.
I mean, that's not weird. I guess I don't know.
Did you?
You're a big ninja. He isn't. But like, remember, this is the guy that dunks on like Devil May Cry 5. I feel like he's never, as far as pure action games go, he's never there just for like the action. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I know you like the first couple of Devil May Cry games, right? But like that's more when they're horror games and not just pure
Devil
action.
May Cry is a series that I've liked. The only one in the series that I have actively kind of disliked was 5, and that's not even.
But I bet you didn't love 4
even
either,
then,
right?
I finished it. I played it and I finished it. So like, how much could I actually hate it?
But I'm saying like the people who love the genre think you're a crazy person, but that's because they're into it for the stuff that maybe you're not. You know what I mean? And like, Ninja Gaiden 4.
By that logic, you'd think I would be into Ninja Gaiden 3D and not the 2D side scroll. I feel like,
but like Ninja Gaiden 3D is the same way. Like it's all about the action.
I know. But like something about the way I'm gonna be totally honest here. Something about the way Ninja Gaiden 3 totally turns me off. Don't know, but this
like all of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of
I look at it and I'm like, not for me. I don't know what it is. But I've always liked the Game Kitchen's aesthetic. I mean, for what I've played of their games,
Well, this is
Blasphemous
just
1 and
nice
2.
pixel art or whatever, right?
Wait, so I'm
And
sorry.
that gets me going.
Did you say that
But, like-
you've watched Ninja Gaiden 3D, but
I mean,
you have never actually played it?
I've seen plenty of
Watch some
gameplay.
footage of
I've just
4
never-
or like that 2 remake. I mean, it's
I know. I
slicing
also
up
we
enemies.
talked,
It looks pretty good.
we talked about Ninja Gaiden, the Ninja Gaiden remake when Chris Davis played it, right, or whatever. And I've watched a ton of footage. I've seen lots of trailers. Just the series, just
Yeah, you're
whatever.
just not
it
an
just
action
doesn't.
boy. You're a lore boy. We know that.
But that's not fucking true.
That's not true.
It is. I think it is.
No, dude.
Like
You say
pure
that because
action.
I
Like
didn't-
you're not there
you-
for like like what I'm saying is, you know, you seem like the kind of guy who's like, well, this combo worked. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Right? You're not styling on these
guess.
dudes. You're not in the lab. You're not in the like in Bayonetta. You know, you can go to the loading screen and stop the loading.
Yes,
So you
and
can,
I did
like-
that plenty of times.
Nah. Dude, well, I don't know what you. I think
Look, I didn't want to get into it. I was just expressing my history with Ninja Gaiden, which has always been since literally since the first Ninja Gaiden, when everybody else was losing their minds about Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden 2. I looked at it and was like,
But
This
Ninja
looks
Gaiden
bad.
like
I
Black,
don't like
it's like
this.
it's like
This is not
one
for
of
me.
it's one of the
Yeah.
goats, right?
I know.
Like
Yeah.
you know, Bayonetta, Devil May Cry 3, Ninja Gaiden Black. It's like
I know, I get
it's
it.
one
I
of
get
the
it.
goats.
I get it. I get it. I don't like it.
Well, you don't get it. That's the thing. You
Yes.
don't get it. But you've also never played.
Oh my god.
You right? You if you have you played even like a little bit of those games?
No, I've never touched a controller.
Okay, I mean that could be why, right? Because
Yeah.
you know
There's a
this-
certain amount of
even
game
the
feel that
I
is
Ninja-
just
didn't
so
mean to start this
satisfying.
conversation.
Ninja
I didn't mean
Gaiden,
to
like
go
on
down this rabbit hole.
Xbox, like immediately you get
Y'all
it.
are
Like
trying-
it's a 60
y'all are-
FPS and it's buttery smooth, and you're
doesn't
like,
count.
holy shit.
God damn it! I regret
Let me
ever
finish
saying
my
anything about
sentence.
this.
I'm not trying to like convince you. I'm
God.
just saying, you know, just try it one day. You know,
I don't want to. This is just one of those games where it's like,
I bet if it's like
I'm
a
being
92,
stubborn.
you'll try it.
I'm
right?
being stubborn. Like I just
if
don't.
it's a
Ninja-
92, you'll play it.
No.
See, I don't believe you. I think if it's a
Fine.
92, you'll try it. You'll be like,
Nick
maybe I should
comes
try
in
Ninja
last
Gaiden.
place this year in
It's not
Fantasy
gotta be
Critic. He
nice
has to
too.
play a Ninja Gaiden game.
That's not
Sure. That
No,
is
he has
be
to
the
play
only
the worst game on
circumstances.
his list, like last year. It's
How about even better? I have to play the worst game that's not on my list, which will be Ninja Gaiden 4.
it's a
That
weird
feels
take.
mean.
Like you can say I hate Devil May Cry 5 because you did.
Y'all are
play
just
through it.
making me dig my heels in harder.
I
because
know,
you
which
won't
is
stop talking
funny
about it.
because
Stop
it's
it.
a weird.
Stop it. We're
one
moving
to dig
on.
your heels on.
We're fucking moving on. This is the hill I'm dying on. I don't like Ninja
I think
Gaiden.
I have one more game.
Yes,
This
you
one
do.
is more your flavor, Nick. My last game here.
Okay.
Roll that beautiful footage and let's let him look at it before we.
For the record, again, I want to be clear. This Ninja Gaiden game looks hot.
Yeah, whatever. it's not.
I am not into this. What the fuck makes you think I'm into baby steps? This is a Chris Davis game. What are you talking about?
The fuck
Okay,
does that
well,
mean?
First of all,
What do you mean, what the-
how dare you? Like
It's a
one, this
joke
is
game.
a meme funny game, and of course that's Chris Davis slop, right? But
Yes.
this is a
Slop?
Bennett Foddy game. It's a Bennett Foddy game, and he is like
Ooh.
he existed before the slop. You know, like he is the grandfather of the
The
slop.
man
Are you
produces
saying this
quality.
because- are you saying it because this guy has like a fat ass and like that's what I'm into and that is that the route you're
No,
going?
I was just joking. I was like this moron can't find any appeal in Ninja Gaiden 4, so I've just made a joke about this game, which is obviously
Mm.
you would never play a game this ugly, right?
It
Anyways,
has nothing to do with it being ugly. It's just God damn it. What is the other game that we played? The
super mechanically satisfying and rewarding game like Baby Steps?
Oh no, this makes me like what's the game that kind of started this whole trend?
The Bennett Foddy game Quap?
Yeah, Quap. Like I remember when we streamed Quap together, and which was hilarious. We were like, it was also like hurting my brain. Like it was just like incredibly frustrating.
This
Trying-
is
I
from
mean,
the
which is
creator of
intentional.
Quap.
That is the mechanic. Like that's the joke.
Yeah,
It's-
and getting over
it's
it with Bennett
intentionally-
Foddy. I mean, you know that one.
Getting
kinda-
over it is a beautiful game.
the
It's a
dude in the
beautiful game.
cauldron with the sledgehammer, and he's climbing the cliffs and stuff, and then you fall.
Yeah.
Like Quap was just like it was a mechanically interesting, funny game, right? And getting good at it was extremely difficult, right? But when Getting Over It came out, like that's what sort of I think kicked off like the oh, this is a streamer game where if you fall, you have to like do like hours worth of effort over again, but you're gonna do it
Real-
anyways, right? And
Real
because
hardcore.
because the streamers like watching it, right? So like Bennett Foddy comes from a place of like I don't know, like indie game respect, but he also like made it big with streamers. So like this feels like a weird in between of like you glance at it where it's like, well, it's obviously streamer bait, right? Like this is just like you watched Northern Lion push the boulder up the hill for hours and hours and hours and laughed every time it went all the way down the hill, right? This is one of those games where, he's going to slip off the mountain and we're all going to laugh and he's going to say that we're, you know, morally bankrupt because we want him to stop or whatever. I get it, right? But at the same time, it is also like a pretty satisfying, like mechanically satisfying game. It's not as brutal as something like Getting Over It or Quap, even for just like the basic navigation. Like getting him to walk is not so hard, but like you see with this demo, and after the demo, you could just kind of explore and just keep trying to go up the hill. You see, well, it's not about the basic movement. It's about using the basic movement over like absurd obstacles that aren't constant, but when they happen, you're like, I fucking hate this game.
But the basic movement, is it like contextual analog use to triggers? That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. You're using the triggers.
Oh my god,
for
this
each
is hurting my
foot.
soul just watching this.
And like I'm falling a lot because I'm not really paying attention. But like I said, I can't stress enough. Just like walking is fine. You get into a rhythm and it's not that bad. But then you'll see like a plank over like a muddy slide that if I fuck it up, I'm gonna go all the way down this mountain. And that's where it gets fucked up. The other thing about this game that is, I guess, some semi unique to like Bennett Foddy games is that there is like a story. Like this is a comedy game as well. And there's definitely like some comedy bits that are going on here. There's like a setup to the story. You're like a fucking basement, slobby guy. It's like, I don't know what people would call it, but just you should probably get out and touch grass kind of guy.
Just trying to find the PC terminology.
And I don't know, he just gets teleported to like the middle of nowhere. He's underwater and he swims out of the water. He's in some cave just suddenly, right? And like some guy pops up out of nowhere, like very comedic. He's like, "Hey man, what's going on? So you're here. Can you come with me?" And like for whatever reason, the main character is just like, "Nah, man." Like he's got like social anxiety or something, and he's very high strung, and he just really doesn't want to talk to this guy. And the guy's being like super weird, in a comedic way, but at the same time, I don't trust that guy, but also I don't trust myself because he's saying like, "Hey man, you don't even have shoes. Come with me. Let me give you some shoes." And like this guy should probably say yes to shoes. I mean, he doesn't know what's going on, but he really is just keeps rejecting this guy trying to help him that keeps popping up. And it's.
Can I just say you did a phenomenal
This is
job.
what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. By the way, I've just been walking up to this point, and now there's like a step that if I fuck this up, I have to go all the way down to the bottom of the mountain. And there is no like reloading. You have to just push the boulder up the hill again. It's the same.
It was kind of amazing what you just did there, Brad. Because you came across one of those obstacles and you like sat there and you could see yourself like trying to build the courage to take your steps, and then you made it across the bridge and then fell on your face the moment
I could hear Brad's heart rate increase as that was happening.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I found myself enjoying playing this game because walking with the guy feels good. And like when you do some like crazy maneuver, you're like, oh man, more of that, please. And it feels good up until the point where you take a really bad fall in a really bad place.
And then you put a hole through the wall.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, look, that's just the game rewarding you with more video game, really, if you think about it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, this is really hard to watch. Oh my God.
I do. No. Things don't go well for me. If you want to see what happens.
These are the moments.
Oh God!
These are the moments where true character is revealed.
Yeah, people listening, are not going to be able to see that, but that was fucking amazing.
Oh, this is
oh,
such
yeah.
streamer bait. Jesus Christ.
It's streamer bait, but I'm saying like it began as art before he sold it out, right? Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
So, yeah.
actually that was
That's
pretty great.
That was the palate
That
cleanser we needed.
is right there where I would have put the controller down and never touched it again.
Yeah.
All right. We need to take a break. When we come back from said break, I know, Chris Davis, you got a game, and then I want to quickly talk a little bit about the Switch 2 because we haven't talked at all about it. And then we'll quickly blow through some of the highlights of Summer Game Fest. So if you're watching at home or listening at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
That's pretty good, Crispy. That's pretty good.
No, I didn't make it.
I know. It was probably
That's a Nightshader original, I believe.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I mean that was
podcast
pretty
number?
obvious. 8:38. I will be right back.
I will say
Quick
though,
break,
Nick,
short
your,
break.
your mic is still doing that thing. It has not been that bad.
I
But
really
it is
haven't
not-
noticed
it did not magically fix itself.
How long has it been doing this? Because has my audio been fucked up the whole
No,
time?
I'm saying
I haven't noticed.
It's impacted your audio very not significantly at all, but it is happening. So if you think it's fixed itself, it has not. So
I mean,
you don't have to do it before the next segment, but before the next podcast, certainly first thing you should do is try a different USB port.
I
before you
will. I
think
will.
about
It's just not
replacing
an
that
easy
cable.
thing for me to just do it right
And
now.
then
or I would
if it's
do
not
it.
the USB port, then get a new cable, and then after that, whatever, just spare.
know.
But you have some easy things to
I
do.
was going
before
to
you-
do it before this podcast, but I was sick for like 5 days, so it just slipped my mind. Haven't done it. So, anyways, I'll be back.
Baby Steps also has a date. This has turned into a very good year of video games, and I'm excited
It is.
by the stuff. Some of the stuff I'm playing, some of the stuff I have played, and some of the stuff I'm going to play this year. I'm excited. And it's not even all the shit I played and for demos lately. There's other cool shit, but we only have so much podcast time, I suppose. Some people are like drafting or like bidding on Baby Steps for like Fantasy Critic. I don't know if it's gonna like score off the charts with critics because it is so streamer bait coded and it's not like a gorgeous game. But I will say Benefati does command a little bit of respect. And two,
It has some cachet.
like this is the most like ambitious games he's done in terms of like tech and like writing and comedy. Like I think
He
I
had
think
a
this
budget
one,
this time around.
yeah, well, a budget for Bennett Foddy, I suppose, and it is published by Devolver Digital. Like I think this game is gonna continue to make him a wealthy man, which is absurd to think about considering he's just the Quap guy. Quap and Clop. Not enough people talk about Clop, which is just Quap with a horse.
Yep.
He made some climbing game too, right? I think.
Well, he made Getting Over It, which is
We're
the
getting
climbing
over it.
game. Yeah.
I thought there was another one. And there's been so many like knockoffs of his shit that, you know, because streamers were streaming it, YouTubers were YouTubing it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Tubing up.
Artsy and funny does well with critics. Yeah, but it ain't that artsy. It is certainly weird. Like that guy who he just keeps popping up like very comedically. Like I slid down a hole. Like I slid down like a slide of mud at one point, and I landed in the bottom of a hole, like a muddy hole that I couldn't get out of because it was all muddy. And the guy just pops up. He's like, "Hey man, what's going on? Wait, did you pee in that hole? That hole was dry, and now it's all wet. You peed in that hole, didn't you?" Like I was like, "What's going on? This is he's going for something here." And it's kind of funny. I don't know.
It's his magnum opus he's going for.
I don't know. I mean, he's done goofy stuff in his games before, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one is like explicitly comedy.
Well, he's never had a game in which there was like a storyline to it.
No. I mean, because the story is the
experience.
is the chatters you met along the way, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna play it when it comes out. I don't. Now you got to understand, I'm not like the guy who's gonna like. Not anymore. I used to be this guy. I'm not gonna like stream it for 10 hours straight as I fall repeatedly. I don't know if I have the time to get over it, but it feels good to move around, in a way that like getting over it sometimes just felt bad, like, you know, and QWOP, right? Even the people who really got it down wouldn't say it's like, you know, it feels good like a trials game feels good when you get good at it, It's still fucked. And this game is fucked. And I don't know if it has the depth of a more considered game like Trials, but it does feel good just to walk. Yeah, very Monty Python. You're right, Tarkus. But it's weird. I was watching Northern Lion play it, of course, and he got to like there was like a vendor who was selling shoes, but like it wasn't a real vendor. It was just like a cutscene. And like again, this dude was the main character was being very anxious about the situation, and the guy was selling like shoes that were like the size of a skateboard, and it's like, and he's just making fun of the main character's small feet, which are small, but they're not like they're also would never be large enough to fit any of the boots that dude had. I was just very confusing. No, I don't know. Yeah, very awkward interaction. But I kind of identify with that level of human interaction, so maybe it's resonating in a way that it won't with. So,
Oh, by the way, the Prime Gaming stuff on Twitch this month is pretty good.
Bog
know if you saw that.
Noise says he's getting Beau is Afraid vibes. Which, yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
that movie's kind of sick.
yeah, but yeah, it's kind of sick. It's also just kind of sick.
Dude, I don't know. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
The scene where the girl comes home and then is like freaking out on him and then like drinks all that paint and dies. And then her mom's like, "What did you fucking do?" And he like runs. Dude. She like angrily chugs paint in his face and kills herself with it. Oh, it's so good.
Are we ready? Are we good to go?
One second.
I'm recording.
I too am recording.
I still maintain that Ari Aster's best film is not Hereditary.
Midsummer.
Midsommar.
I preferred Hereditary, but I liked Midsummer as well.
Most people are Hereditary girlies, but I don't know. Midsummer. I don't know. I just
Also, I've only seen Midsummer once. Well, actually, I've only seen Hereditary once, but that's mostly because I'm too scared to watch it a second time.
I think
they're both
Midsummer.
Scary. Well, it's Hereditary scary, like at the very end for sure.
Midsummer's unsettling.
Yeah, but I'm vibing with Midsummer like so much more than Hereditary. Hereditary.
I mean, Midsummer is a great
seems
vibe.
kinda
Don't get me wrong, and I feel like I need to rewatch it for sure.
The
and
scene
I feel
in the
like
beginning where they're
rewatch
all
Midsummer.
the scene in the beginning where they're all tripping on shrooms is like one of my favorites, and like the most accurate portrayal of that I've ever seen in media.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
One of my favorite Night Shader creations is the Carlos on the pyre or whatever that they're carrying at the end.
I think I have that on here.
Do it. Okay. Roll calls for the second segment starts now. Brad.
Hello.
Crispy.
Hello.
Chris Davis.
Hello.
All right, that was very brief on all of y'all, but I'll take it. All right.
The
hey,
first
welcome back
sound
to
test was like 38 minutes long, so
that is true.
Sorry?
and also we were obligated to interrupt you when you're trying to restart the show.
Yeah,
Because that's what we do now.
Clearly, it's 2 for 2 tonight, anyways.
Yeah.
So, hey guys,
Can you
welcome
give us
back
a quick
to
rundown.
the
So
fucking hate
With
you.
Randy Pitchford. With Randy Pitchford looking over.
Never noticed the Randy Pitchford in the picture. Wow,
That really,
like a
Oh,
magic
God.
eye.
I just
Until
saw it.
someone
It was
mentions it, I don't see it.
it was your favorite Nightshader edit before you even saw like a layer of it that makes it that
Before
much
you
better.
saw the true beauty of it.
Yeah. All right, let's try this one more time. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We have a lot to cover this segment, including Summer Game Fest and Switch stuff. Before we do that, Chris Davis, I want to give you a chance. You said you wanted to talk about. No, I'm putting you on the spot here. You wanted to talk a little bit about the Precinct.
Yes. 1 second.
Roll that beautiful footage.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Precinct.
The Precinct, in short, is a
Propaganda.
systems-driven propaganda game in which you are a rookie police officer who comes onto the force in the middle of the 80s. You got a tragic backstory because your dad was the police chief who got killed 5 years ago. And you are just a rookie cop learning the beat. You're going out with your partner who's training you, and you just go do various different patrols. That's really it from a core gameplay perspective. There's like this bespoke storyline that you progress as you get experience in the department doing your tasks. But other than that, yeah, it's just basically going out and writing tickets and arresting people and killing bad guys
For the whole
as
game?
necessary. Basically,
Wait,
yes.
wait a second. Did you say killing bad guys?
Oh yeah.
Executing them in the street like dogs.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. This game tries to be like half of a simulation experience, but with a simulation, like there's supposed to be consequences if you're fucking up, right? In this, the only consequences are you don't get XP for what you're doing.
Damn.
Okay.
You don't, there's so many
that sounds like paid leave to me.
Administrative.
Jesus.
Yeah. You're at the desk for 6 months.
That is so okay. I'm not gonna lie, Chris Davis. That first of all, I think just like from a 10,000 foot view, like the idea of making a game like Grand Theft Auto kind of situation is interesting.
From the cop point of view.
But I never in a million years would have thought that there would actually be no consequence for killing people in this game, and that just
bad guys, Nick.
Are
They're
they
bad
doing
guys.
it? But is it like, yeah, we just didn't really develop this game very much, or is it like we're trying to make a point?
No, it's not even that.
It's just tone deaf. It's just tone deaf.
I wouldn't even say it's tone deaf necessarily. I think that they just fell short of what they were trying to do.
What were they trying
Because you could feel the limitations of this game. Like the map itself is very small. You can drive across it in about 45 seconds, and the scope of the story and what you're doing, like the environments are very limited. The variety of crimes that you respond to is very limited, but the things they fleshed out and focused on are kind of cool. So you are pulling people over. You're giving them, drunk tests with a breathalyzer. You're you're responding to burglary calls. You're going after gang shootouts and things like that. But everything you do is based around booking the suspect and investigating the crime. So you're seeing the background of the character I'm investigating here. Like he was nervous. So I did a pat down on him, found some narcotics on him. He also had alcohol in his breath, so I did a breathalyzer test. I got points for that. And it's all about getting all the right charges on a suspect and then issuing a fine or arresting them. Really, that's it.
Getting the charges? What do you mean getting the charges?
Getting the charges correct. Like
Okay.
like the game gives you this disappointed sound, and you get less XP if you try to apply the wrong charge. Yeah, like if you
Tarkus has got to get that quota.
Wait. Try to apply the wrong charge.
Yeah, if you pull over a guy who's been drunk driving, but you arrest him for homicide, like you just get 25% less XP. You know, that's it.
What happens to the guy? Does
he
Nobody
disappears into the system?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Like
Nothing good.
What's actually really funny about this is like the consequence of not fleshing out certain mechanics or not thinking things through all the way to the end in this particular scenario is that it ends up being this like really horrifying accidental commentary about real life.
But from a gameplay perspective,
any other type of game.
From a gameplay perspective, going out on your beat and patrolling and responding to 911 calls and like
are you
that
a beat
loop
cop
is a little fun.
or are you like
you are a beat
rising
cop
through the ranks?
You're not even raising through the ranks. Like there is a leveling system in the game for based on XP, and all that does is give you points towards a skill tree. In which when you hit max on your rank, you hit max on everything you can unlock. So it's not even that much. Like all you have to do is just keep working your beat, and you will max out your skills very quickly. But there's kind of interesting things here. Like there is a stress system when you're dealing with suspects. Like you'll see like a red health bar, and then below you'll see a blue stress meter bar. And as you continue your chase, as you're yelling at them to stop or you'll do whatever, it will eventually lower to the point where they will straight surrender and things like that.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do if you don't stop.
I know. I understand what you're saying, and I understand the ludicrousness of what I'm saying here.
The audacity of making this game in the year 2020.
Yes. But also there's some things like there's a whole crime syndicate aspect of the game.
I gotta say, I'm starting to understand why this game was overwhelmingly positive prior to release, like in its early access form or the demo or whatever. The demo was overwhelmingly positive, but then the game is like a 69 on Metacritic.
Nice.
It's all making sense now.
Yeah.
I think the people who were seeking that game out knew what they were looking for and what they were wanting.
The actual narrative progresses as you work your way towards shutting down some crime syndicates in the city. As you're doing your crimes, cop crimes, basically. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
I'm sorry.
He slipped. No. As you are investigating suspects and doing your beat, you will find evidence throughout the world as you arrest suspects. And that counts towards a count of how much evidence you have to go after crime bosses. And as you progress through that, it also pushes the storyline further. There's a whole serial killer storyline subbeat that happens.
There always is.
Honestly, I feel like whoever was developing this is a real big fan of like Serial Killer X in Condemned. Because that's basically the plot line.
But the strange thing is that like if you were going to play a game right where you have the option to like investigate like a serial killer, you wouldn't do that as a beat cop.
No, you are aiding the detectives that are doing the work.
Also,
they call you out to crime
scenes.
You're just
and
fucking
up their crime scene. That's what you're doing.
Serial killers aren't real, right? Like statistically speaking.
Dude, you live in Austin, man.
What are you talking
We got one, bro.
No. The Rainy Street Killer is not real. That is ridiculous.
Wait. Sorry, I back up for a second. Stop the presses. What the fuck are you talking about, Crispy? What do
What?
you mean
You've never?
serial killers aren't real?
No, I just mean like
you're about to crush
no,
Nick's world.
God damn it! Like I'm talking about like statistically. I'm talking about like if you look at the entire corpus of American crime.
Oh, it's very small number.
It's not like there aren't enough people to really consider it to be like an actual thing, right? It's mostly used in media and in like propaganda to be like, well, this is why we, you know,
It is rare. It is rare.
this is
Yes.
why cops need tanks, you know, because there might be
A serial killer.
Dexter might get you, you know, like it's not,
There's usually
it's
like,
not like a real thing. I don't know.
It's theorized that there's like
Anyone who's telling you there's a serial killer in
killers,
Austin,
yeah.
anyone who's telling you that like the Rainy Street Killer is a real thing and not just the fact that there's like a bar, like an entire like bar district right next to a river and they put a fence up and suddenly all the killing stopped, like
They found another body recently.
they're always gonna find bodies, Brad. It's a fucking river in the middle of a city.
Let
That
Nick
doesn't
dream,
mean there's
damn
a
it.
goddamn serial killer. Like
Says
Let
the
Nick dream,
serial
or
killer.
kill.
You're
Yeah, it's
deflecting
me.
pretty good there.
You're right. Yeah.
Hey, I just want to
Where
point
was
out
I
like
last Tuesday?
I'm just pointing out that it's I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but it is like speculated
Look, I know,
that there's
everyone's
like
gonna
50
come for me
active
on
serial
that
killers
one. People,
at any given time.
Like serial killers are just kind of like, I'll give it. My worldview includes serial killers because I've heard about them in the media. Like, but that's not like.
Okay,
It's like
anyway.
dying in a space shuttle explosion. It's happened, but it's not gonna happen to you. Like, I don't know.
That's
Anyway,
fair. I mean,
this is
I think
so
I think that's fair.
as a fantasy game as much as this is, I feel like the developers could make something really cool if they got approved to do a sequel. They just need to expand the open world. They need to have more bespoke story content.
We need to tread lightly. Is I think what they need
and
to do.
tread fucking lightly. Yeah. I kind of like it, but it's got a lot of rough stuff. So anyway, that's the Precinct.
Word. Okay. Cool.
I also want to quickly mention that I finished Deliver at All Costs.
The game that Brad was mentioning was a failure for, was it Konami? Is it a Konami?
Sales-wise, yeah.
This looks like no one bought it.
Yeah, because it's $30 and it's a 12-hour game.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very positive about it last time I talked about it. This game hits a brick fucking wall with its story that it does not recover from in the last act.
Damn.
And in fact, it ends on this narrative cliffhanger that is the least earned thing I've seen in years. Like, no, this is not okay. I mean, that's it. It's got a great gameplay idea, and the first 2/3 of it is just lots of goofy fun. But it just falls a fucking part when you move to the third act. So
just doesn't. It's kind of like Dying Light 2, but
like it's legitimately interesting sounding premise and what they're trying to do with the sci-fi elements, but they don't fucking deliver in any way, shape, or form.
What did you just say? Sci-fi elements?
It's sci-fi. The plot is sci-fi, and it gets kind of nuts.
Aliens, Crispy. There's aliens.
Oh, it's beyond just aliens, man. There's so much more.
Killers and aliens? Come on. Pick a fantasy, guys.
Crispy believes in aliens, but not serial killers.
No, okay. You don't want to fucking talk to me.
No, I don't. I didn't mean to open that can of worms. Let's move on.
Don't bring up aliens with the Star Trek guy.
What do you mean when you say believes in aliens?
I'm not going to answer that question. All right.
No, I don't think Earth has ever been visited by extraterrestrial life forms.
What about octopi? Octopuses?
I think
cephalopods.
Yeah, cephalopods. Crazy though. They're fucking crazy.
They are. They are. Life is crazy, Brad.
It is.
Brad, what makes you think an octopus evolved on another planet and came here? Why couldn't it not just evolved here?
Dude, look up
It
the
had to
signs.
have
I mean, they're
somewhere.
weird. They are the closest thing
Also,
to an alien.
Yeah. Also, they're like almost as smart as humans. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. They have like 8 brains. Like they're crazy.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, actually.
They're great.
All right.
I love them.
Also,
All right, real quick.
just one last thing I want to throw out.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
I am 2/3 of the way through Star Wars Outlaws.
Which is, I would rather jump out a window than hear someone talk about Star Wars.
I
Outlaws
don't.
again.
I'm not going to talk
was-
about it. I just mentioned
I'm
that
a
I'm
Star
playing
Wars
it.
haters, and Nick's about to say he loves it. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
No, I was.
We got to talk about the Switch too, bro.
I liked it.
Yes, we do need to talk about the
Oh, yeah,
Switch
you
too,
too.
because we have not talked about it since. And at this point, we all have Switch 2s, right? All 4 of us
Do
here.
we?
I just set mine up today.
Wait, you did get a Switch
That's
too?
one more step than I am.
Oh, is it
He
like
did.
you got the homie discount on this shit?
I got the details of the arrangement are not important, but
Oh,
I know what that means.
yeah,
fallacious details. I mean, salacious details.
No,
Fallacious, fallacious details.
fallacious details. Yeah, felonious. Yeah, I got one, but I haven't played anything on it yet. But
So-
I'm going out of town at the end of the week, and I'll be gone for 10 days, so I'll probably be playing a lot.
Word.
Okay.
So look, I will say I don't want to talk a ton about this. Because I don't know honestly how much there is to talk about at this point. Brad, I would imagine you've probably played a few things other than Mario Kart on the
I
Switch
mean,
at this point.
all
I have
I'm
only
doing is
touched
playing
Mario Kart.
things other than Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Well, just real
I've
quick,
been
just some
getting back
impressions
into
of
Tactics Ogre, you know. I've
Well-
been playing Lumines Remastered.
just real quick, just general thoughts on like hardware feel and all that stuff. I mean,
I don't. It's just another Switch, dude.
it's
Like,
hard
my
to
hands are
get.
cramping. I'm waiting for my grip to get here because it doesn't
Yeah.
feel good to play in handheld mode for long periods of time.
I will say
Um,
this, this is not necessarily meant to be like a commentary on like the quality of the system or anything like that. It's just more of like, generally speaking, this has probably been the most underwhelming like new hardware launch, maybe
You
ever.
know why it's
for
so
me.
underwhelming? It's because like from like not the software side, but like the software side of the hardware, like the UI and all this, like there's no like new bits and bobs like in the system.
same.
Software.
Yeah.
The OS
Yeah.
is just so uninspired and the same
Yeah.
that
I mean, it's
like,
not even that it's uninspired.
faster,
It is
but
the
it's-
same.
it's
But also-
it's like, man, there's no music or anything, or there's no themes, there's no new options really outside of this camera bullshit, which I don't care about. And like it just feels like this. I would have been disappointed with this launch if it was like the Switch Pro, maybe. You know what I mean? Like it's not even like it doesn't feel like a new console in terms of like that stuff, which in the end doesn't really fucking matter, right? But like it's the kind of stuff that you geek out about at the launch of a new system isn't really present here. That's probably why they made that stupid fucking game that they're charging for that they shouldn't have. What's it called?
Yeah.
Like if that was on the system, like maybe some of that excitement for new hardware would be there. But because they're charging $10 for it, what is it called?
Welcome Tour.
I don't remember.
Welcome
I know,
Tour. Welcome
Yeah,
Tour.
yeah.
They're charging for Welcome Tour. Seems like
Which is
so
insane.
stupid.
That's
It's
so
stupid.
insane to
I
me.
hear it's dumb, but like it would have felt like a new system maybe if that thing was on the hardware.
Yeah.
It's a little
mean,
weird, but I don't care. I mean, I didn't buy it to like because
I bought it to be ready for Donkey Kong and Metroid. That's what I bought it for.
That's the point for me.
Me too.
Yeah. Also,
And
based on what Brad said, I've been like, I reinstalled, not reinstalled. I installed for the first time Bayonetta 3.
There you go, dude. There you go, man.
I still have never touched
It's a
that
good
game.
video game. It's a good fucking
But it
video
runs
game.
apparently better on the Switch too.
A lot better,
Right out of the box.
And a lot of stuff is like that, which is nice. Like, I'm not like embarrassed to like have my son play a Pokemon game now because some of them actually run a lot better, or acceptably now.
You're no son of mine.
Well, mostly he didn't play Pokemon games before because he didn't know how to read yet, and they don't ever have voice acting because the Pokemon company doesn't have enough money, I guess, for voice acting. I've been told. So I don't know. Or
True story.
voice acting's more expensive than you think, bro. Literally, they're telling me, and it's the Pokemon company. But whatever. Hey, whatever.
That's like Disney telling you they don't have enough money.
Yeah, for anything. Yeah. Anyways, it's neat. I mean, Mario Kart is the thing, right? Like the big launch title is Mario Kart, and it is neat. I will say it is not. It is not.
I will say that
Burnout Paradise / Forza Horizon like I wanted.
I have footage. I have Mario Kart footage. Roll that shit.
It's playing.
Can I just say
it's a fun Mario Kart game if you like Mario.
Yeah, it is a fun Mario Kart game. And this footage that you're gonna watch, I'm pretty sure predominantly just races, which is just like vanilla ass Mario Kart, which is like really elaborate maps and shit. And tracks that are really fun, and I'm really enjoying doing cups and stuff. But I am color me like very disappointed. I was under the assumption that this was going to be modeled after like Forza Horizon or Burnout Paradise or something like that, where you're like driving around the world and like starting races organically. Because like the blueprint for that is there, but they're two separate modes. You have to access them separately. It's
not just that, but like the free roam.
What are you doing in the free roam?
Weirdly,
I don't fucking know. I'm driving around the free world.
No, you do stuff.
There's like challenges and shit.
Challenges all over the place. I don't entirely understand what I'm unlocking by doing those challenges, but there are challenges all over the place, and there are like outfit things that you can find to unlock outfits. But even
I always feel like
it feels very like you could just keep switching characters and unlocking outfits, and it's like this is not a rewarding way of unlocking outfits. But it is the easiest way to obtain outfits. Is just to switch your character, get the pickup. Switch your character, get the pickup. Switch your character, get the pickup. Over and over and over again.
Oh,
it seems kind of stupid.
So it's like the free roam mode is more like the crypt in Mortal Kombat games. Like
I mean
Mortal Kombat.
There's more to it than that. But it's just not. Well, it's like.
Did you play that last one? The crypt was pretty fleshed out. It was kind of cool.
The crypt has always been cool.
You can tell that the open world aspect of it is not the main focus, and I feel like it should have been. It's what I was hoping.
It's called World.
Yeah.
It's called Mario Kart World.
The world's seamlessly connected. You can just.
There
are challenges and stuff all over the place. So like there is stuff to find and do out in the world, but I'm saying you should be doing that with people more like easily, and like it should be the focus, like you should just hop into a world with friends and then get into like races and challenges, like how they do it in like Forza or Burnout Paradise or any of these other open world racing games from the past decade and a half or whatever the fuck, right? Like it's so weirdly like, it's like, Nintendo is a little bit like, why can't you just be normal, right? Like they do amazing stuff, but it's like just like for some of the things they should just be normal and copy what the other people are doing and not pretend like they're inventing something every time they do something slightly different,
especially when it's not actually inventing something.
Well, but you know how they are. It's like they refuse to play anybody else's video games, So like when they do something, they're not like, they're not doing research into other open world racing games. They're going to do it their
up on
way.
what's going on.
Yeah, you get that vibe. I mean, you get that vibe with like Hideo Kojima, but like quotation marks positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or parentheses positive. But with Nintendo, it's like parentheses negative.
Look how clutch this win is, by the way. Ooh, shit.
No one gives a shit. It's just Mario Kart, dude. Like, and in the same ways, it's like bullshit, right? You'll be doing really good. You'll eat a bunch of shit, and you're like, oh, I guess I'm not getting first this time, and it feels bad. But like, the races just feel like Mario Kart. I mean, you can like grind, but like grinding doesn't feel good. Like the tricks feel okay. Like kind of when you get up on walls and stuff, but you can only do it in some places. That feels good, I guess.
I like the planes, like when you get wings and you're flying them.
Yeah, but like that's not even the first time they've done that shit, right? Like
I mean,
even within the series.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've played a
it's-
Mario Kart game, to be honest. So
Yeah.
it felt kind of new to me, but I know it's not.
You know, that's the thing, right? It's like every aspect is done a little bit better elsewhere, you know, and it has been for years, right? Like Diddy Kong's racing and Wipeout and Twist, like even the battle mode, right? Is like this got mogged by Twisted Metal 2 decades ago, more than 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, damn it. You know, and it's still the same old, like, I don't know, but it's nice. It's like running well. It's a nice new hardware. Like you definitely like feel the power of like, of a Switch 2 when you're playing this, which is nice, right? But you know, it's not like Mario Kart on the Switch 1 ran like shit or anything.
Yeah.
It's, but like, you know, they have like the new knockout mode, but like, again, maybe when they're
It just
marketing it,
hurts
like,
'cause,
check
like,
out
we
this
could-
new mode where the people in the back lose the race, they get eliminated. And like, dude, that mode has existed in so many racing games for so many years. It's not that it's not fun, but like, it doesn't feel special. I don't know.
The only thing that hurt, because like it's not that I don't have any problem with this existing, and it doesn't. I don't even. It's not even like it's a bad like launch title. It's like
No,
the
of
fact
course
that it's
not. It's
kind
not
of
bad at all. Like
it's
like
the
my
launch
children
title.
are thrilled by this game,
Yeah,
but I'm not a child, so I don't. Mario Kart is stupid.
I've
for
been
me.
trying to get my child to play it. She's
I've
doesn't
never-
have opposable thumbs.
I've never like really loved Mario Kart, so I'm no like person here to talk much about Mario Kart, but it's because
I
of
hit my
shit
own
like
bomb.
that, like right, like you couldn't do anything about that. I feel like in
Yeah.
Twisted Metal, there's like, you know, you can like dodge out of the way of like powers and like do things about it, activate your shield, and you can kind of do it and do stuff like that in this game, but it's so like happenstance. Do I have the right item at the right time? And is it, you know, it's there's skill, but it's still so much is like left to chance and timing. Like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. Mario
it's
Kart's
just
great. But
Mario Kart's fine and everything. It's just it's weird to me.
I thought
that,
this was
like,
going to be the Breath of the Wild moment for Mario Kart, and it's just not.
It's
fucking
definitely
that.
not even close. Yeah. And like it just seems a little strange because you know, Donkey Kong Bonanza is dropping in July, like next month, and it's like I almost feel like they should have just waited and like shipped
Well,
this
I mean,
console
no, like
with
I hate to break it to you, Nick, but Mario Kart's a much bigger deal than Donkey Kong. To
Yeah.
most people.
I guess so.
You know,
But at least there would've
sell
been
a ton
choices.
to
It's
one
like-
easy.
Like imagine if if the Switch 2 came out and you had a choice between Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, like, you know, I just feel like this, you know, like I think back to like when the Xbox 360, like a choice between like 4 or 5 games. It's like this. I mean, I know technically there are
those games were like
choices.
not. Most of those games were not like launches are usually pretty bad. What feels weird about this one is you could tell they were very selective with what companies they would let do like some third party stuff like ports and shit, and beyond
Yeah.
that they like shut everything down. Like there could have been like more stuff at launch if Nintendo wasn't weird about it, right?
Yeah.
Like even like the big indies, they're making the big indies wait, which is probably why we don't have dates for like certain big indie games, right? Like a
Certain
Hades
big-
or a Silk Song, right? Because
There
they're
it is,
probably
yeah.
trying to get their games natively launched on the Switch too. And right now, any fucking, or you know, 99% of indie games are still like their Switch 1 releases that can run on Switch 2. There's like besides like Fast Fusion, which is like this F-Zero knockoff that they always let launch on their Nintendo hardware because I don't know, it gives them excuse not to have to make F-Zero. It's so weird that there's a Fast Fusion game at the Switch 2 launch and like nothing else indie, but whatever. Very weird.
Very
But whatever.
weird.
Mario Kart's nice. I mean, the hardware is, you know, I kind of wish it was an OLED screen, you know, and I kind of wish, you know, it felt a little bit better in my hands, but whatever.
That's
I
what
got a
she
grip
said.
on the way. Whatever. It's a Switch.
Yep, fair enough. So you know, we'll have more to say about the Switch 2 as more stuff comes out on it. Obviously, it's just been kind of an underwhelming launch.
We
I
just
haven't,
need some games
you
we
know-
care about.
Yeah, we
But
just
I
need more
mean,
games.
whatever. You know,
genuinely
it does
excited
have
for
a
it, Pokemon.
game people care about in Mario Kart. Most launches are like, I guess I have to care about Resistance Fall of Man now because I got a new system and I have to find a title to latch onto. You know what I mean? Like a lot of launches are just kind of like that. Like even like like GameCube had Luigi's Mansion. Like back then, it kind of felt like bullshit, right?
I still think that the launch of the PS4 is like one of the most magical launches.
Magical? What the fuck?
Wait,
the
what?
PS4 have?
What are you talking about?
Dude, dude, we had
Resogun?
we had everybody over at our apartment playing fucking Astro's Playroom and stuff. And
Well, that was
launch
just
night,
having
and-
a fun experience together.
Yeah, we were having fun as friends. That game sucked.
That's
it
literally what I'm
definitely
saying.
needed-
It's saying it was a magical experience.
Yeah, that
But
just
no, seriously,
I
what
meant.
did the
That's all I
PS4
meant.
have?
It had Killzone and Astro's Playroom and I had 3 games on
Astro's
launch night.
Playroom was PS5.
Is that what I'm thinking of? PS5?
Like Astro's Playroom was cool.
Oh, yeah,
PS4
you're right,
had
yeah.
some like Astro's.
Oh my god, you're right. I was
nonsense
thinking
or
of
whatever,
PS5.
like
You're right,
camera
right.
stuff.
No, sorry. Not PS4, PS5 is what I was thinking.
But PS5
All right.
launch also didn't really have much shit beyond that.
Wait a second. No, I'm thinking of PS4.
PS4 did not have Astro's
When
Playroom.
you and
Astro's
Nolan were
Playroom
living-
is the pack-in.
Yeah,
full
I was living with
Astro
Nolan.
Techno,
Not Astro's Playroom. Whatever the one where you could like suck the robots up into your butt. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
just like
controller.
the tech demo stuff for the fucking camera. Yeah. It was
But
called
yeah,
something, but yeah.
I had 3 games on launch
I think it was
night.
back then. It wasn't called Astro's anything. It was called Playroom, and Astro was
Yeah.
in it.
Very true.
Something like that. Anyways,
I'm just saying that was a great
Or that
great
was
night.
PSVR?
I think his name is Astrobot.
I'm not talking about Rescue Mission. God damn it.
No,
I was
there
talking
some
about
I know what he's
literally.
talking about. It's Playroom. I think it's called Playroom.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. What else did the PS4 have? Resogun.
I had 3 physical games on PS4 launch night. Like
Yeah, but how many of those
box
games do you still talk about?
I'm not saying they're like my
What
favorite games
were
of
the
all
3
time. But I'm
games? Also, like
Killzone,
like-
Shadows Fall,
rich bitch. You bought 3 games at the launch of the PS3.
Assassin's Creed, Black,
That's so
Assassin's
much
Creed
money.
Black Flag, Assassin's Creed
Black
Black
Flag
Flag
was a
one.
cross-gen title. I mean, that's
I know, but I didn't play it. It's like it's the same thing as fucking Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
I
okay,
played it
but like
on
people who've never played Cyberpunk because they're Nintendo guys have a sick
I know.
ass game to play at launch.
Look, bitch, you're giving me too much shit. I was just saying the PS4 launch was a very This was nothing compared to that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Was
trying to
Flower
remember
a launch title?
Flower.
That's PS3, bro.
Yeah.
Wrong
No.
generation.
Oh wait, that's right. He's saying PS4. Yeah, Black Flag and Resogun. Knack? You got
Knack. It was Knack. I had Knack. Yeah.
Is that
Knack.
true?
Yes.
See, that's
Yes.
like sucker bullshit. Like that just
Yeah.
destroys your entire argument. You couldn't find anything, so you
It was
bought
great.
Knack.
It was
This-
fun.
This is a launch where everyone agreed this is the game we get, and for some of them it was
It
bundled
was
in.
not a launch title. You probably wouldn't have bought it day one.
Hey, look, we're adults now, and I don't invite friends over to play video games as adults. So, like, Mario Kart kind of didn't hit the. All right. I was living with Nolan at the time. It was
You bought
different.
Knack.
It was different.
It was different.
It was a different time.
You were different.
I was different. All right, guys.
Knack
I don't
is
want to.
so. I feel
Can we?
no. This is about. Yeah, we can move on from Mario Kart. We're done. I will say, was watching Northern Lion, who's like a trivia genius, right? He just knows a lot of things. It's crazy. He got to the cover of Knack, like he was doing the one where like you could see like different quadrants of the cover of a video game. And he was just the cover of Knack, and he still had no idea what it was. That's how much Knack has fallen into obscurity. Northern Lion did not recognize Knack. That's fucked up.
That's crazy. All right. I just want to really quickly. We haven't talked about Summer Game Fest, and I know there's a lot of stuff. We don't have to go through all that shit. I do at the very least want to make sure we talk about the surprise announcement of Resident Evil Requiem, because Resident Evil 9.
Well, not a surprise announcement, but you know.
Well, I mean, people
An
were
exciting
expecting it. They did this weird bait and switch thing where they made it sound like it needed more, and then they're like, psych, here it is. Like, what was that?
Stupid.
What was that about?
Just stupid. I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
fucking
They
dumb.
thought it was gonna be a fun idea. They had Lady D, and they were, I don't know, whatever. Who cares? But I mean, whatever. We saw the game. It looks fucking cool, right? And there is more detailed hands-on impressions for people who played it at SGF, and I encourage people to look that stuff up.
Yeah.
I saw the hat. It busted. It did not hold.
Yeah, it did
The
not
back of
hold.
it-
Yeah, it did
It
not.
busted. It could not take
Yeah.
it anymore.
Yeah.
Chris,
saw
Chris
it.
oh my
I saw
god,
that.
Chris Davis's melon
The
head.
trauma that you just did to that cap.
Well, I bought 2 of them.
Anyways.
It's okay.
Chris Davis decided to put his Raccoon City Police Department hat. More propaganda for you.
Propaganda.
That better be the fucking episode title, by the way.
I've already used that. I'm pretty sure we've already used propaganda.
We talk about
as the episode
propaganda
title.
a lot.
Speaking
Yeah.
of cops, you play as Leon Kennedy in this game. We don't know that from the
Wait.
trailer that they showed, but the
That's
main
not confirmed.
it is confirmed. Well, it is confirmed by Dust Golem, who leaked everything else about this game.
Dust Golem has said a lot of things over the
Wait a
years,
second.
though.
I was gonna bring
No,
up the fact that
but he was right about this one.
wait, what? I was gonna say that everything Dust Golem said was wrong. What are you talking about?
Well, no. You don't know the full story. You've not been following this like I've been following it.
I mean,
But
I did
he
get off
said
Twitter
nothing
a long
about
time ago.
Grace.
So the
No,
last
he
thing I
said there was
read,
going to be another playable character. I mean, you know,
the last thing I
his
remember Dust Golem
way.
saying is that it took place in like the Philippines.
Oh well, no, that stuff is. Look, you got to be careful with the Dust Golem stuff you're spouting, but you know, he was right about a lot of things related.
Dust
to this.
Golem is
Okay.
right until he's wrong. Gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, tell me what he was right about because I apparently am not in the know.
No, we can't get into it. It's so much stuff, but
I don't want it to
he
be
he
Leon.
is saying, huh? Yeah, it's
I don't want it
Leon.
to be Leon.
If he's right, and we're trusting him now. We weren't trusting him last year, but we're trusting him this year.
We have a new lady character. Why do we?
We have the daughter of a character from
Outbreak.
Outbreak, which is weird, who died tragically. I'm curious if they're gonna. I don't think did she die in Outbreak? I have not played through the Outbreak games.
Okay, so like, it is
Okay,
a scenario-based
well, actually,
thing. It doesn't. There's everyone survives and everyone doesn't survive. Like it depends on how the game
Okay.
plays through.
Can I say that? And maybe I don't want to get off topic, but I think Resident Evil fans. I'm not trying to be mean,
Oh
but
god!
I
here
go
it
into a
comes.
Resident Evil thread on Reset Era, and 90% of the posts are about lore and characters. And
Oh
no one
god!
is
Here we
talking-
fucking go.
No one is talking about what this video game is and how it plays, and it's driving me crazy. It's driving me fucking. I am not exaggerating when I say 90% of the posts. Fact check me on that. Pull up the Resident Evil.
I believe
9
you. I
thread
believe you.
on Reset
Because
Era.
it's
Y'all have a
I care
problem.
about that stuff. Of course, I believe you. I'm just saying, like, there's
It's all they care about.
okay.
It's so weird.
You have made your opinions about Resident Evil lore and the fact that you think people care too much about it for years. Like that's
we
been
all
known.
agree that it's not something that people should care too much about.
No, you just keep saying that over and over again until people just get tired of arguing with
You can't keep saying it and try to make it a fact. Sometimes
It
it's
is-
just not that.
That is
reality.
not that. It's like watching a schlocky B movie.
Well,
or
he's
and then
not saying you shouldn't enjoy it.
it shouldn't
he's
be all that,
saying
you
that,
talk
like,
about.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it shouldn't. The integrity of it shouldn't be a concern
Like people are
because there
saying,
is no integrity.
Oh.
Like,
you play as Leon. I'm not even playing this one. Like think about how insane that would be.
I didn't say that, first of all.
I didn't say you said it.
Oh, I thought you said I said that.
In terms on the spectrum of
Nick's
of
on the
Resident
spectrum.
Evil fans, you are closer to the normal side. Chris Davis is a little far gone, but even he's not that bad compared to some of these people. It's weird. It's fucking
You
weird.
said it. You said it's gross. You almost said it's gross.
90% of the people are just talking about characters and lore, and I am fascinated by what this game is in terms of the way it plays. Now we know it has both third person and first person. Do we talk about this recently?
We have not talked about it yet, but the weirdest thing is that it's confirmed to switch between first and third person, but you have to go into the menu to It's not like on the fly. Like you can't just,
Yeah.
which I think is crazy. Like I'm thinking about like a game like Holston, which literally lets you go from like top down isometric into first person over the shoulder third person shooting.
It's because those modes are not like I get it. I understand why they're doing it because it's not like a camera. It's not just a camera change. Like I think those modes are built very differently, and I think they have to be for them to both be good. And I think they want them to both be good. So I kind of get it.
Of course they want them to both be good. I'm just saying, like,
well, like
if you
it's not just they're pulling the camera in on a third person character that can, or zooming out on a first person character, because I think those characters are built and the way they interact with the environment are built very differently. And I think they have to be for both to be.
I guess what I'm getting at is that like it's being described as like, oh, it switches between first and third person, when really what it's saying, you can just pick whichever one you prefer, and that's the way you're going to play it.
No, but there is like so they suggest, like the game suggests which mode to be in during different sequences. I think you always
know,
have
and
option.
but that just sounds lame that I then have to go into a menu to manually.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like,
it just
you're gonna get into the spooky mansion or whatever, and you're gonna switch to first person because
I mean the demo that all the previews
not
have been happening
action-based.
and covering in the press has been an interior like hide from the monster, try to get through a puzzle door.
I'm just saying
demo.
I mean, I get it. I get the idea that it's going from third person. Like they recommend being in first person for the third person for this part. It just seems to me like the better move been to if there are certain areas of the game where it is designed and it is highly recommended you play from a certain perspective, they would just make the switch for you.
I think
like
it's
you
because some
go into
fans,
a place and it's like go into first person for you.
I think it's because of the weird Resident Evil fans who want to see the girl they're playing. I don't know, dude. I don't know. All I know is Leon's probably supposed to be in third person, and then like this spooky moments where you're walking around as the girl, he's probably supposed to be in first person. But
how many Resident Evils besides 5 are based on a premise that isn't, well, Umbrella's up to their bullshit again?
No, that's all of them. That's all of them.
That's all of them.
Every single one. Even 5?
Everyone.
Even 5.
Especially
why
5.
Yeah, that's
I don't
wild.
take it seriously.
That like, yeah, come on. What are we talking about?
That is
That's
the
reporting
that's
vampire
a comic
man.
book. Like,
Yes.
Yes, it is. But like the argument that there's something wrong with that, I think, is the problem.
no one said that.
So like, here's the thing.
seems
Here's the
like
thing.
that's
Here's
the
the thing.
problem.
Here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing.
No, it's like I was
no, Nick,
saying, it's
it's okay.
not
It's
about-
okay. I am saying you should feel bad, and I know you're upset about that, and whatever. That's fine. That's fine. We agree to disagree.
Yeah, go fuck
But let me
yourself.
give a different example of where this happens. It happens with like Kojima
Star
games,
Wars.
right? Like Metal Gear Solid is a game that I think has like a lot of like amazing rich gameplay. But like usually when people start getting into like the Kojima lore, all they want to talk about is like the story and the characters and the connections and the nano machines. And I get it. There's a lot, those are like very like story focused games, but like also Hideo Kojima is fucking out there, man, and he's doing some weird crazy shit and he's on something, whatever, or he can see the future. We haven't decided what the fuck is going on with Hideo Kojima. So I get that there's threads and threads and posts and posts and posts about the story and the characters and the lore of it, Hideo Kojima.
But you don't think Resident Evil deserves
me,
that kind of I get it.
Absolutely fucking not.
But like, dude, I get it. What do you want me to do? Like, it's
Talk to
I
your
don't know.
people.
I fucking hate this conversation, and you make us have it every single fucking time we talk. It drives me
Well,
fucking
I mean,
crazy.
yeah. Let's talk
It
about
drives
the
me
game
crazy.
Play then.
Yeah, I was planning to, and then you went on a tangent about people.
Have you heard about
the ashamed of
Have
themselves
you
for
heard
being
about
into
the
the
new
lore?
big? Yeah, ashamed. Yes. Have you heard about the big new stalker enemy?
Yes.
That is that the thing in the trailer that like drops
ceiling
down off
monster,
the
yes.
ceiling?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Yes.
Dude. I think this game's gonna be.
Also, there's all
quite
these people talking about
spooky.
how there's
Quite
all these people
spooky.
talking about how it's heavily rumored that Lisa Trevor from the Resident Evil 1 remake is back, and which is cool. It's a cool thought. That's lore, Brad, and that's cool shit.
There's
But, like,
also been
people
some
were like-
speculation that you may even go back to Raccoon Forest.
people were like pointing at this trailer and like, look at the background of this thing last night. And we were watching it on Trailer Talk.
It was
I was like,
yeah,
dude, that's a horse statue in the background. And he was like, ah, I think you're right. It's a horse statue. Everyone was saying the horse statue was Trevor. It's just sorry.
It can be fun to do these kinds of crazy deep dives into this shit.
I think the coolest we haven't really even mentioned like the fact that like for like the actual setting of this game is like nuked Raccoon City.
Yes.
Which is a cool setting. Settings can be cool, absolutely. And like the stupid ass vampire man that made it that way, whatever. Look, I'm not trying to pick on Resident Evil. I feel the same way about like people who do this shit with Zelda. Like, you're crazy. What are you doing? It's not good enough for that. I'm not trying to pick on Resident Evil.
But you are. What the fuck are you talking about? You totally are.
Because I'm combing these threads for like juicy information about what this video game is.
There's just not a ton of it out there yet, Brad. There's not a ton of it out there. There's more lore stuff out there than gameplay.
Man, people have played it.
Yeah,
I know. I've read all that shit.
Read the threads by the people who played it. Don't pay attention to speculation from a community that's not played it.
I have read the threads, dog. They're not.
Talk about like watch those videos, listen to those previews, like.
Oh man. Yeah, I know, but like I'm saying, like I want the sickos. Like I don't want just the IGN take on it. I want the sickos to break down the stuff that I'm interested in. Like they're doing that for like Final Fantasy Tactics, right? They're analyzing every UI element and like every split second of every little footage we've seen to figure out what exactly is this video game. I want that for Resident Evil because I love Resident Evil. That's the thing. People, you could think that I would hate Resident Evil being like this, but it's not true. I love Resident Evil.
Well, then you gotta wait until they actually show a combat video or some like just like cutscene trailer.
But like the stuff that Dust Golem says about like the ambitious, like they're doing ambitious shit with this game, with the structure of this game. It was going to be like this open world thing, but they've kind of scaled it back. But what is it going to be? That's what I'm super excited to hear about.
I mean, I'm into that shit too.
Like,
but
are there going to be vehicles?
Oh God.
That's crazy.
What do you know, God? That's
crazy.
Vehicles are exciting if they help you get around an environment.
What if it's
like
dead
look at
right?
Resident Evil 5.
Oh.
Resident Evil 5 had the boat level. That was the best fucking shit in that game. I want an evolution of that.
I mean, you're talking like you are talking to someone who also considers themselves to be a huge Resident Evil. I know. I'm very excited to find out more about.
Give me a tank,
Resident
dude.
Evil 9.
Let me open up secrets with my tank cannon. Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean, I don't know, the story stuff, I don't know, man. It's like, aren't the moments between the characters like the sauce?
Burgers? No,
I thought that was like, well.
Wait, are you talking about The Last of Us? What are we talking about here?
No, I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. The story. I'm trying to communicate what you're saying about the quality of the story in Resident Evil without, the sort of baggage and like, I don't care, like, I don't know. Like, I none of you guys ever like read comics growing up, right?
I mean, it depends on, not to the extent that you probably did.
No, but I mean, like, you haven't like followed a character for a long time and been like, oh, there's always something else. There's always a big twist. There's always like some big shakeup in the status quo, and then everything. When we get tired of that, we go back to the status quo, and then something new happens, and we're like, whoa, let's go. Batman has a mech now, and then he doesn't have a mech anymore, and then you're like, oh, Batman's blind now, and then he's not blind anymore, and then you're like, oh, Batman's crazy now, and then he's not crazy anymore. Like, I just mean, like, when you follow like long form fiction like that, I don't understand how like the lore can even matter. Like, everything has happened. Everything is true.
I mean, I think we're just getting Can we? Here's the thing. We're just we're getting
I'm
like
not,
it's
yeah,
not.
you're right. I'm not. We're not. Yeah, you're right. You're
It's
right.
a big
not
topic. I just
useful-
looked at the time. Holy
It's not a
shit.
useful conversation.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But I
We
mean,
need to
that
move
is definitely one of the biggest things at SGF for sure. Maybe the biggest.
There were a couple. I'm just gonna like
And
rapid
it comes
fire
out
a couple
soon.
things.
It comes out soon.
It comes out in February, which is like,
Dude, I
super
really
exciting.
liked the Batman mech because the Batman mech wasn't piloted by Bruce Wayne. It was piloted by Jim Gordon, which was really weird.
Okay.
It didn't last for long, but it was kind of sick. There was a time
sounds
when
fun.
Bruce Wayne wasn't Batman, but Jim Gordon was. He was a corporate sponsored Batman, sponsored by the Powers Corporation, and he had a mech. And it had like police lights on it because he was working for the GCPD. I'm sorry, like
That sounds cool.
stupid shit is awesome, Nick. Like stupid shit is the coolest shit in the world.
I agree.
Okay,
I'm not saying that.
I know.
You know what's it's funny. Here's funny. It's funny. You were asking about how you said have you never followed like a character so many years and just seen them go through like.
Dexter, kind
I was
of.
like, it's fucking Dexter. I've been following this character since 2007.
Even
It is
more like it's
2025.
like Buffy or like Supernatural. Like, oh my god, look
Yeah.
at Supernatural. Like,
Which. Oh, never mind. Don't
fall
get
for
me
it.
started.
Don't do it.
No.
You got a Supernatural?
Season 5 Supernatural.
No. I saw a great meme, a D&D meme that used Supernatural the other day where it was like the level 1 party and it's the two of them being like, we can't fight demons. They're like insane. And then it's like the level 15 party and they're like knocking on the door and they're like, Satan, you got to come out and talk to God. Okay. Like,
That's literally that's accurate.
like when you have an arc like that, nothing matters. Like, I don't know.
It's funny. Nothing matters, but like if you talk to the people who follow it, who care about it, it fucking matters.
I know. Star Wars is a perfect example of this.
Yes.
Star Trek,
Except Resident Evil isn't a television show / movie.
It's
Brett,
a video.
It's a video
same
game.
concept. It's the
An
same
action
concept.
game, a horror game, and it's fun.
Just let the conversation die, Brad. Just let the fucking
we
conversation
should
die.
wrap things up.
I know.
I'm just trying to be funny here.
Can we
that's
just skip the 4-player minute? Because I do want to just rattle off a couple.
Yeah,
or maybe
that's fine.
Or maybe we should just.
we can skip the 4-player minute. What do you got?
Okay.
What are you so desperate to talk about? Is my
No,
question.
there was actually a
been
lot
talking about
of
this
shit
for weeks.
A lot of shit from State of Play that and Summer Game Fest that are worth mentioning. Just real briefly, they announced the new Lumines.
Ooh.
Fucking badass. Pragmata got a release window of 2026. That game from Capcom.
It actually exists, and we saw gameplay. Yeah,
and it looks cool as shit. Little robot girl that rides around on your back.
Oh,
that part is the weird part.
That is
a
weird.
new grasshopper game. Romeo is a dead man, which I was like, this looks like. Are we watching a new like fucking No More Heroes? I wasn't sure. Silent Hill F is coming out in September. That's fucking crazy. There's a sequel to Bloodstained, The Scarlet Engagement, which still somehow looks different but ugly as hell.
Bloodstained's so sick. You guys are crazy. I can't even listen to that slander anymore.
What?
You guys are insane.
I was just saying that it was ugly.
Okay, it looks like a fucking video game at most, and you guys are always
looks like an ugly.
My virgin eyes! I've never seen such horror.
Okay, we can. In happier news, Final Fantasy Tactics remake is the thing. It's happening. That was like,
Video Elite continues to deliver.
Yeah,
Bloodstained is almost. It's not my dream, but it was gonna be my 4-player minute. But I guess I'll save it for next week.
I mean, would you like to say something about it?
Yeah, I feel like I've been talking about all this shit constantly, so it's a little weird. But I guess we haven't podcasted.
None of it has been said on the podcast, which is the difference.
It's been said on stream for sure,
but not everybody. This is for the people who download the show and listen to it on the go.
Yes,
God damn it, Brett, just get it out.
Yeah. It's both very exciting and a little disappointing for me because I was hoping that it would get the treatment that Tactics Ogre Reborn got and that Tactics Ogre Let Us Clean Together got, which has been remade multiple times, full remakes, and this is mostly not a remake. It is a remaster.
It's like a half step.
They did. Well, it's not. It's just they're keeping the base game intact. It sounds like, But for me, at the end of the day, the reason I'm not as excited is because I wanted Final Fantasy Tactics, but I wanted it to really feel like a brand new experience because Tactics Ogre was that. It also got like a completely re-recorded soundtrack both times that it was remade. This is still the same soundtrack from the original Final Fantasy Tactics. I would have loved a re-recording.
Yep.
But I like in those first few days, it was disappointing because it really seemed like they weren't doing much, especially they didn't have all the new stuff from the War of the Lions version, which is disappointing. But I've since learned a lot more about the game and I am getting very excited. It is a retranslated script. It is not the War of the Lion script, which is a little disappointing, but they've recorded something that is a little more friendly to full voice acting, which the game does have now, which is really nice. This is definitely going to be the most like modern and playable, like quality of life, like version of the game. Like anyone who wants to experience Final Fantasy Tactics can experience this version. The thing I am
That'll
like
be me.
single-handedly most excited now, like for me, is that they have finally confirmed that there is a hard difficulty. There's also an easier difficulty, but there is a hard difficulty, which I'm very excited about. The most exciting thing about Tactics Ogre Reborn for me was that like it is a challenging game that really like can fuck you up, and I want that for Final Fantasy Tactics. And now that there's a and like Matsuno said that, or the director said that like shit like you used to do, and he called out like fucking calculators using holy on the entire battlefield on turn one. You're not going to be able to do that shit in hard mode. So I'm excited to see what that means. So like the more and more details I get, the more excited I'm being. It is my favorite game of all time. So
It's coming out in September.
I would love new music. I would love for them to have completely reinvented the gameplay style and the systems like they did with Tactics Ogre twice. But the thing people don't understand is that Tactics Ogre is the much more loved game in Japan. It's hard to believe because everywhere else, Final Fantasy Tactics is the loved one, and Tactics Ogre was just like the game that came before, right? But in Japan, it's the opposite. In Japan, it's like that's like Ocarina of Time to them. You know, it's like one of the it's a very loved game. And Final Fantasy Tactics is almost like an afterthought to them, and it's always been that way. Even since like fucking the release of those games, it's always been like that, which is weird. So that's probably why that game got so much more love. And that also Square Enix had a lot of like budget cuts in the past year or two,
Right.
and it might be why there's not a new soundtrack for this game. But we'll whatever.
Business Unit 3 is doing this, right?
Yes.
That's sick because their dialogue in 14 is
It's
very
good. It's good, sure. But Matsuno also said, like, you know, the shit I read before the show, you know, we'll see. I don't know. He is working on the project, but
all right. Again, I want to just I am kind of just jumping around. This is obviously not everything that was announced. It's just kind of like the highlights, right? They announced Neo 3. There's a demo out for Neo 3. I played it.
I played that.
Yeah.
I played that. I could have recorded footage and talked about it on the podcast. But
there's always next week.
Always next week.
It's worth mentioning.
It's doing some things that are very different than the first two games.
It is definitely doing some things.
Again, originally had me crashing out, but it's better than I expected.
There's going to be a gameplay deep dive on Ghost Play.
You really are just kind of like going over all this stuff. I'm sorry, Dick. I really didn't expect you to do this, which is why maybe I should have given you a little more runway. No, but like when you brought up a Suda game, which means you're kind of hitting a lot more than I was expecting. I thought you were gonna have like mention like 5 games or something that interested.
I'm just hitting like there were some bigger things during the State of Play and fewer things in the other presentations. Yeah, State of Play was really good.
Much. It's gonna be.
I also, if I was gonna do a 4-player minute this week, I would be talking about 007 First Light.
There you go.
IO Interactive's 007 game, which we talked about last time we recorded a podcast. We talked about it and my concerns. Because I'm not a huge Hitman guy, and I'm not saying those concerns are necessarily alleviated yet, because we haven't really seen much of it. But I wanted to bring it up because I was like absolutely fucking floored when they rolled the trailer, and it turns out the new Bond is played by Patrick Gibson, who's Dexter, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It's like all of my worlds are colliding, and it's kind of blowing my mind. But I think the game looks pretty, like the trailer anyways makes it look fucking sick. I'm super excited for it. I want to know more about like structure and gameplay and all that stuff. But yeah,
for sure.
That's pretty fucking wild. They announced a new Marvel fighting game,
That's a big one, right?
Fighting Souls. That's a huge one.
Tokon Fighting Souls or whatever, which is a
Yeah.
Arc System Works developed fighting game, which looks really cool. But it's
Looks
just
hype as
4-on-4, which is crazy.
Yeah.
They need to have a lot of characters at launch for that to even make sense. And I don't know if they
Yeah.
are, because Arc System doesn't usually launch with the
Well, I
shit ton of
mean, it
characters,
depends on what
but-
kind of like 4v4 experience they're talking about. Because a lot of the people that like Maximilian did are speculating like maybe it's not necessarily 4 full characters that you're playing as, but like one primary.
No, they've already
with 3
said.
backup.
They've already said you could like play as one character and just have the other characters as assists the entire time, or you could swap them out. So I think it's going to be more like it's not going to be like I think it's going to be like one life bar and you're dead kind of thing. But whatever. I don't know. Maybe
It looks sick as hell.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks
does.
good.
I wish I played
We'll see.
fighting games because it looked sick as hell.
Yeah,
And then that was kind of those the highlights from State of Play. Just a couple things I wanted to mention from the actual Summer Game Fest. Of course, we already mentioned Resident Evil Requiem. They announced
I mean, from the showcase, the Keeley showcase.
Yeah, the Keeley showcase. Code Vein 2, which didn't see that coming. Atomic Heart 2, baby. I'm so fucking hyped for that. Oh my god, that trailer looks sick as hell. I'm so ready for that.
Feels like they turned that around really fast.
They did. They spent. I think it's because they
Keeley
spent so much time building the fucking tech
Give
for
me
the first game.
give me some juice. Do you care about the cube at all?
I mean, I cared about it until I heard the words MMO. But then again, the Dune Awakening game is an MMO, but Crispy's been playing 30 hours of that by himself, and it sounds pretty
He
sick.
can play the cube. Give me the
So,
juice.
like, I
you
must
just
not
mentioned
fear-
COVID 2 and I'm about to crash out. Give me some good shit.
Onimusha Way of the Sword, we got a new look at that.
It looked good, it
And
looked good.
Arc
Ill.
Raiders got a release date in October. And those are kind of the big things that I wrote down here anyways. There was
It was kind of mid.
yeah.
It was kind of mid.
It was kind of mid. I mean, I think the
Keeley
State
has
of Play
been
was
consistently mid over recent
the State of
years,
Play was
so-
a big thing, and I'm not gonna lie. I think the Xbox Showcase, which historically speaking, the past like 3 years or so, 4 years, maybe even going back to when we were actually going to E3 itself, they've been kind of stealing the show every year, and this year was a flop. They didn't have any they didn't show us Fable, they didn't show us Perfect Dark, they didn't show us
or State of Decay.
or State of Decay 3, or
Or
like,
the
kind of
rare
any of those
game,
big games.
Everwild.
Yeah,
We got the next game from Double Fine. That's really about it.
yeah, which looks wild.
Which just seems like I mean, who knows? It looks nice, but it's not. You know,
and then they closed it out.
like
They
it's a
closed it out
game.
with-
It's a game with no words.
Yeah.
From Double Fine, a
That's just
studio
crazy.
we love.
I mean,
for
so
their
far that we
writing.
know of, there might be something.
I mean, you play as a bird and a moving lighthouse with legs.
Yeah,
That's-
whatever.
There's
It's
probably not gonna be a
cool.
ton of words.
We've got a release date for Ninja Gaiden 4, which looks super sick.
And
Also, Silk Song we know is coming out this year.
That crazy Black Ops trailer.
Dude, that was I was
That was
ill. Well,
so
I was
wild.
ill on the day that we were streaming it, so I was like
so-
pushing. I was pushing through the illness to watch this showcase because, like I said, they've been really good the past several years, and
It
I was
took
like,
me
they're gonna end on some hype shit. They're gonna end on some hype ass shit, and for a second I was like, wow. I was like, I went like back. I was like, this looks like Evil Within. Like I don't know what the fuck this crazy looking Black Ops 6. I just closed the call. and I went to
Some
bed.
freak shit.
Did.
Some fucking freak cinema going on there. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was weird. All right, and
I love
that's
it.
kind of it. That's kind of it for recap. Again, there's a bunch of other stuff that was shown, but those are kind of
Game of the show
So
was
we-
Big Walk. Look it up.
Big Walk.
Big Walk looks so fucking good.
It's
Oh, that's that cooking game where you have the giant.
No, Big
Big-
Walk.
Big Walk?
Big Walk from the
Yeah,
developer.
it's a big
W-A-L-K.
walk.
Untitled Goose Game. Watch it was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
they showed it at the Day of the Devs. It looks so fucking awesome.
You have a
Watch the
giant
video if
walk
you've
that you stir fry.
Oh, Big Walk, Crispy, you
Yeah, walk,
motherfucker.
big walk, stir fry.
Walk.
Okay. Real quick, I this happened after all of this stuff because Konami did a transmission, Silent Hill transmission. Bloober is working on a remake of the original Silent Hill, which
Okay.
obviously, given the success of Silent Hill 2, not a huge surprise, but Silent Hill 1 is definitely the game that needed a remake more than 2, but 2 was an amazing remake. So that's super fucking exciting.
And then you could use what you built in that to go towards a 3 remake. Yeah.
Is Grounded 2 coming out this year?
Yeah. I think they said
Think
that.
about
In
that.
early, in early
Avowed,
access.
Outer Worlds 2, and
And
Grounded 2 are
in
all
1 year.
coming out this year.
That's
3
nuts.
games from Obsidian, and all the other companies that Microsoft bought aren't shipping games. That's
It's
absurd.
crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, guys. We've gone a little long, so like I said, we're not going to do
Long.
Yeah, we're not going to do a 4-player minute like we normally do. We got to get out of here. But again, we didn't record a show last week, so we had a lot to catch up on. We'll get back into the swing of things next week. We'll be back on Tuesday. We're coming up on Death Stranding too. There's going to be some exciting stuff to talk about in weeks. I know Crispy's hype. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here for the night. But in the meantime, guys, we'd love to have you in our Discord at discord.gg/4player. Come and join us. We'd appreciate it. And of course, you can find all of our previous episodes on your preferred podcast service or on 4playernetwork.com. We'll catch you next week. In the meantime, be good to each other, play video games, and good night.
I do think Super Meat Boy 3D could be cool.
Oh, that looks cool, but I would never
the In
touch it.
Exile game looks neat.
I would like to get Nolan's professional opinion on Super Meat Boy 3D.
Why?
Because he's a huge.
Was he a big Super Meat Boy guy?
Yeah,
Is he?
think so.
I think you're thinking of Binding of Isaac. I
Well,
mean, we all
and-
love
and-
Super
and
Meat
Binding
Boy.
of Isaac, yes.
The
but
world loves Super Meat Boy, but I think you're projecting with the Isaac stuff.
Chat, back me up on this.
Never.
Like I said, we all love Super Meat Boy.
Wait, what? Nolan is a Binding of Isaac guy for sure.
Yeah, but Super
I think
Meat Boy
he's
is the bigger
like,
question.
but you also understand that like Isaac
yeah,
people,
okay.
like the people who make Super Meat Boy now are not, McMullen like people. Like those are not, they're not friendly with each other.
They're not good people.
Yeah, they're not. So, like, it doesn't really make sense
Mullen,
to-
whatever happened to Cam Draw? What do you think that was going to be? I think
it was exactly what it was meant to be, and it changed your life forever.
A marketing
Changed my
stunt.
life. It was fun. It was a fun weekend, is what it was.
It was. That was a pretty.
It was
fun
a really
weekend.
fun weekend. Well, what are you gonna do? I don't know.
Who knows?
There is lots of good Next Fest demos if y'all want to try before it goes away, and not just
but-
your typical like Chris Davis slop.
I will say this: I did install and
Ooh.
play like an hour of the altars, but I quickly realized that this is not the kind of game I can spend my attention with. Like I couldn't just like play an hour of the altars and then go play another game for like 2 or 3 days and come back and play more of the altars. Play the altars.
I will say, Nick,
Play the altars.
do you know that the Altars is like a story game?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
I've played the game now. Yeah, I very
No,
much
I know, but what are you intimidated by? Because the actual like game
It's mechanically deep. Like
but no, mechanically it's not deep. That's the thing. Look at reviews. Mechanically, it's shallow. Like this is a story game.
I was already getting really overwhelmed by mechanics.
But it's wide and shallow. It's not like a deep game. You're not going to get
All right. Well,
not even like Death Stranding deep. It's like
The
gameplay is light.
Well,
It's there, but it's not like the focus.
well, that's good news for me. But like, I was sitting here.
The story, it's decision making. That's the stuff where it gets crazy.
Well, that's good news because I was struggling. I was like, I'm gonna play like an hour of this, and then I'm gonna go play Assassin's Creed for like 3 or 4 days. I'm gonna come back to it. I'm not gonna have any fucking it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
Hey, Brad.
What I played was cool, but
what
are you intending to stream some more Nexus demos?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, if you do, maybe look up a demo for a game called Net Attack. Net.attack.
I've played NetHack.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
sure.
there's a game called Net.attack, and it's basically a Vampire Survivors like,
but you're actually programming your weapons.
One of the next demo programming rooms. I did play that Ball X Pit game, that the one that Devolver Digital game that they had. Their, you know how their showcase was only a single game. It's like Breakout meets Vampire Survivors. It's like a roguelike, and it's pretty saucy. It's a little saucy. I
Pretty
kind of like
saucy.
Saucy?
it. Yeah, it's addictive. It's fun to play. There's some other demos I downloaded. There's this game called Eric Sholm that I think looks really fucking good. There's a Morsels demo, which that game looks gorgeous. I downloaded the demo for Herdling and Dead is Disco. I need to try that. Death How. Herdling from the developer of...
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
That second wave of factions you unlock in Monster Train 2, are they all from the first game?
Yes.
So that's like, those are the factions you play in the first game. And all the factions you play in the new one to start with are new.
Correct. Yeah.
Are those characters new, or are they all like bosses from the first game or something?
What do you mean characters? Like the
like all the
champions?
Yeah.
The champions are also from the first game. Yeah, if I remember.
Were they
actually
guys or
I don't
bad
know
guys?
Well, you are the good the bad
yeah,
you guys
I
are the bad
know.
guys.
But I mean, like, were they protagonists or antagonists in the first game?
All of the factions you play from the original game are like, yeah, they're the good guys. They're the ones you play.
No, I'm talking about the new factions in 2.
Oh, no, they're like new. They weren't like the things you were fighting. Well, maybe that first faction is.
But they weren't in the story at all?
There's no story in that game.
I mean, there's a little bit of a story. I'm just trying to...
In this one, yeah. But in the
there wasn't
game,
at all in the second.
No.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Net.attack. Look.
But yeah, I've beaten a couple runs now. I'm up to level 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've got
it's gonna get harder,
factions.
like Ascension 3, essentially, right?
Yeah. I've gotten...
What's your favorite?
All but one faction.
What's your favorite faction?
Before I head out, Crispy, I just want to let you know I did your super drop.
Oh, I saw that. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't mention Marathon got delayed.
Yeah, I wish it hadn't been necessary, but here we are. My favorite faction so far, I don't know. I mean, I like the first one, the Fallen or whatever. Like, they just kind of generally speaking my language, but
yeah,
the one that is like really fun to break is the fucking...
It's Kalia.
The Underlegion. The mushroom people.
Oh yeah.
The mushroom guys are fucking crazy. Like that Bully the Guillotine, like if you get the one where he just like permanently gains attack and power, like power and toughness or whatever, forever and ever, and then like you've got like a crazy oh dude, that's so cool. I like tokens, I like in Magic the Gathering, I like token decks. I like decks that like have a wide, shallow board, like I'll summon 21 ones and attack you with them,
So, but you just unlocked the Umbra. Umbra? Is that what they're called?
I just played one with, the Umbra, whatever. They're interesting. Their whole mechanic of like summoning morsels or whatever.
Yeah. Little
That's
Studio Ghibli.
Pretty cool.
Guys.
Oh yeah, I guess that is what's going on there. Interesting. Yeah, it's a fun game. Pretty cool.
It's good.
Is this on Switch too?
It's not. Well, no game is on Switch too, but it's on Switch. It's only PC.
It's on Switch. Yeah,
I think.
Shit. Well, whatever. All right. Well, I gotta go.
Are you looking for a Switch one indie or something?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm driving to Ohio in 2 days, and I'm gonna be there for a week, and then I'm gonna be gone for like 10 days, and have a lot of nothing to do.
I mean, Monster Train 1's on there, but honestly, there's no reason to go back to the first game
Yeah.
since they have all of the factions from the first game in this one.
Yeah.
It is like
This just seems like the refined experience.
it's all of it. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I'm probably gonna play a bunch of Monster Hunter, if I'm being honest.
Dude.
And I also thought about playing Three Houses. I have that, and I never really played it.
Three Houses is good.
Yeah, Fire Emblem.
I think you'll like Three Houses.
Yeah, maybe. Oh.
Dude, I think you'll get into like, school loyalty and stuff.
I do like that.
Stealing classmates from other schools.
I do like that. It is kind of fun.
It's good. It's good.
All right. Well,
Good night.
you guys have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
I didn't get to mention it, but as soon as I finish Star Wars Outlaws, I am going to start playing some weird shit. And I'm not going to tell Nick in advance what it is. I'm not going to tell anyone what it is. We're just going to show up with it to the podcast, and they're going to have to fucking deal with it because I'm producing this shit. Not hentai. It's not hentai. But it's definitely something that's going to make them go, wait, what the fuck? Why are you playing this? So, I already have two of them figured out, maybe a third. And that's going to just be my summer of gaming. I'm going to have that weird corner. Anyway. I need to go to bed. Oh, plenty of old.